It's not really that warm either.
It's not warm because I work and it's the asthma intro. It's the asthma intro. Asthma.
You fixed your mic yet, Des?
No, I haven't. But you know, I have fixed the inch.
You fixed the Beardy Bros podcast.
What's up, Beardies and Beardettes? You're listening to the fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast with Dale, Jim, and down below us, Wookie as always. Oh, back for another episode.
Oh, wait, I want to be on top. I'm
You
a
wanna be
top
top?
person. I'm a top.
I'll do a magical edit. Now what's happened to
There you
swap
go,
our boxes.
just
I'll
be
just,
going on.
just swap the boxes around and then we'll just
Well, we're
move
not
him up
talking
top.
about Discord. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Woo! What a different intro for a
cut
show.
out. It was like,
Yeah, cut out.
It cut out. I came in fine. Do you wanna go with that, or do we want hyper take? Do we want a hyper take?
no,
No. All good.
that's fine.
I only just started drinking, so.
Okay,
whatever
good.
you
Cool. We're
want.
starting slow. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm different for a
Starting
change.
slow.
And
No,
then you make
normally
it-
I start about an hour beforehand, and then yeah.
Wait, what?
I know, and Jim's not having drinkies for a change. He's been drinking too much.
I had a mouthful of tequila. That was bad enough.
Ooh,
He had some
I was
tequila.
quite sober, and I was like, "Hey, have some tequila." Good. Fuck that.
I'm wondering
beers.
if I have tequila left.
Oh, I had three. Well, I had a couple of these. I had
I
a
got
couple
no
last
beers
night.
or ciders or nothing. I got a Jack in the fucking cupboard, but
Good Jack. Yeah, no,
it's
I
fancy.
had a couple of drinks last night, and I may have fell asleep on my stream while streaming, which was pretty entertaining for my viewers, apparently.
Just turn into a sleep stream.
Well,
You'll make
I
some money
pretty
there.
much went that way. I ended up falling asleep while playing Fortnite, and everyone's like, "Wait, is he asleep?" I think he's asleep. No, he's not asleep. I'll go quickly check it out. Kind of thing. I think he is asleep. Is he asleep? Let me come check. I think he's dead. Nah, he's not dead. He's asleep.
Set donation alerts, so when it reaches a certain amount, it just wakes you up.
Well, I was lying there for a bit. People were trying to use my sound effects, my little normal sounds, to try and wake me up, and it didn't work. And then Captain Awesome come by, and he dropped a 250 biddy drop, which was for one of the sound effects. So it was like, drop the bass, and that dropped, and I was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. It woke me up, and I was like bobbing to the music. It looked so funny. Cause I'm like, yeah, drop the bass, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's up, everyone? And the whole chat was just full. I had to scroll back, half asleep, trying to read the chat, and I like. God, it was fucking hilarious. I checked it earlier today. I was like, I'm gonna have a look at this and just see what actually happened. I'm like, that's funny, that's gold. That was great. So it was a bit of something different for a change.
That's
Sleep
weird.
streams.
Everyone's going to fucking sleep on stream
Yeah,
last night.
yeah. So I don't know. Ugh, one of those things. So yeah,
Especially when you're sitting down, because you just
and you just thought, yeah, well, that's exactly it.
doze off like.
You're already comfortable.
What's
Just
that? Yeah.
pass out.
Like, because I dozed out for like it was about half an hour, and I was awake again. I watched the launch of because I ended up jumping onto YouTube. I was like, oh, let's find some music to like chill out with while I like have something playing because I'm just gonna go back to have a nap. And then the premiere dropped for Billie Eilish's new song, so we ended up watching that on the stream.
Yeah.
And then continued on, found another playlist and chucked on like an anime, like it was a Tokyo Cafe live stream like of music playlist, kind of just songs. So I ended up chucking that on, pulled the blanket back up, had my pillow, and I fell asleep for another hour on stream. I was that cold and it played. I was like, oh, that's great. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna go to bed now. End the stream and go to bed. Out like a light. So that was something different for a change. So
Hey,
yeah.
at least you could go to freaking sleep.
Mm.
Because I was standing up going to sleep, bruh.
Oh, well, that's exactly what you just said. Like you stand there, reenacting it feels my kind of sleeping.
I'm being serious. I was like over here playing the Rocksmith. I was like,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Imagine if it was like me actually playing to how I fell asleep, where I actually nodded off. Imagine if you were actually doing that, and you nodded off, and you're just like, imagine if you actually did fall back, like you actually went
I
flying.
almost fucking did into the TV. I was like, oh fuck, wait.
It's freaking hilarious.
Oh god.
The thing was, I could still play the song. I was still going like.
In your sleep, yeah. I've done that before. I remember in the past I've fallen
So I
asleep.
could still hear it, but my eyes were shut. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
You zone
No,
out. Yeah.
I'm going to bed. See yous.
Oh god.
Well, it's a lovely Saturday night. We're in Queensland, me and Dale, and we've got a lovely another lockdown waiting ahead of us.
That's exactly it.
Lovely,
Another
isn't it?
extended weekend lockdown, indeed.
Yeah, yes.
Till Tuesday at this stage.
Oh well, so much for me taking you out in the town.
Yeah, well, I knew it
yes.
wasn't going to happen anytime
Li-
soon, so.
Yeah. Not definitely wasn't going to be this weekend.
Oh.
No.
No.
Is that because of Sydney that he's got locked down?
No, it was
Or-
another incident of people that broke out some kids or whatever it was at a school. Kids got it from a teacher or something. I don't know. I don't know what these students and teachers are doing. It
Or a
seems a bit sus.
tutor or something like that.
Tutor
yeah,
gave it
just-
to a student. I'm like, I don't know what they're tutoring, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's.
Pass
If
on
it was
cut-
one of those, if
Extracurricular.
we know it's contagious in the words like if it's you're being coughed on or something like that, so it's not.
Or even if you touch something they've touched, like
I don't know what they were coughing
then-
on. Jeez.
Yeah,
the air.
paperwork, homework.
Because
each
if you
other.
cough, it can go like a few friggin' meters.
Mm.
I don't know.
So-
It's all I can think of is teachers back in our day compared to teachers now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Jim's gone
Yeah.
straight for the whole,
Yeah.
that South Park episode. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, he had relations with his teacher. His hot female teacher. Oh, let's give this boy an award.
I mean, I wasn't going
Oh.
there, but you did, so.
Yeah, well,
we're in that spectrum.
It's more common now these days. You never heard about back then, but
It was never really a thing when we were in school, eh?
Well,
really.
like the teachers back in our day weren't exactly stunners.
Oh,
We didn't really have that many stunners, did we? It's
Well,
I
that
did.
one we had that one at my
I
school.
had
There
a
was that
few,
one.
but
Everyone always used to talk about it. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's hot." Everyone's like,
yeah,
"Yeah."
we had a few back then,
That's
and
all it was, though. It was just, oh, she's hot, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
A few of them
Now
tried to
it's
crack
just
it
like-
on.
half
These
the,
days,
half the
kids-
American teachers, my God.
yeah, they're very young. They're like mid-20s, even though they have a boyfriend, they're like willing to, hook up with some
Extracurriculum.
14, 15-year-old kid who's just,
Extracurriculum activities.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, why? Just,
I
Back
don't know
in
what
my
the deal
day-
is. They're all crazy nowadays.
what, the teachers?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that
Both.
teachers. But always the problem was though too. The problem was like always like
That's all the
feared for
students,
like.
partly students' fault.
Well,
so-
they always fear it always being like, oh, it's male teachers hooking up with female students. But then commonly of the
Ooh.
times, it's always female teachers hooking up with the
Oh
the
yeah,
boys
100%.
students. Like,
Yeah. It's majority of the time it's the female teachers, and it's like when a male teacher, everyone uproars about it, but when it's a female teacher, everyone's going, hell yeah, high five, give that kid an award. It's
oh,
like,
it's just like that. Damn.
and the pups are just like, I wish she was my teacher. Just it's one of those things.
It is.
Sure, I had a few attractive teachers back in my day.
Yeah.
Everyone has one, at least
Everyone
one
had
or two.
at least one or two.
There was There's always that. You couldn't go to school where everyone was like, ew,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like majority of them were like really old, 50-year-old grandmas just being like, hey, how you doing? But it'd be funny then if like a teacher, a 50-year-old, grandma teacher hooks up with a young student, and then you're just like, it's just granny banging.
Granny banging.
Granny banging.
My
One
fucking
foot-
grand bang. Oh,
She's got one foot in the grave and the other one in her bedroom.
Oh,
And he's doing the same. just
just
Oh.
no.
yeah, no. Or I figure it out. I was like, oh, Jimmy boy, you're getting an A for this. Let me just take out my teeth. Yeah, that's probably going too far.
Oh, different things. Yeah.
That's what you do.
Oh God!
What an
Definitely
excellent,
gonna be not
what an
for
excellent
kids.
start. Not even 10 minutes into the episode, and here we go.
Yeah,
roaring hard.
I'm only on my first
Woo!
drink as well. This is just,
We love it
every
here.
time I'm in, I start talking about things. It just
He's
leads
on-
off like,
he's on the fucking jack
Well,
as well.
that was like-
yeah, I know.
Oh, this is a little bit away, but still talking of teachers. There was this one Indian teacher we used to have at school, and a mate used to be able to do this like the roll the ankle, like fake snap your ankle kind of foot thing with his like because he was like skinny, kind of double jointed, and he used to be able to like roll his ankle and put it to look like he'd snap his ankle and do it all the time. And one day he'd come into class, he'd be like, "Teacher," I'd be like, "I don't know what I've done to my foot." And she freaked the fuck out. She was like, "Oh no!" She ended up having
For some
like...
reason, I'm thinking that could also be a start of a porno, but anything can.
Anything can.
Teacher!
Teacher, I've rolled my ankle. Does this hurt? Let's see if anything else is numb.
And then they get the shock face.
Oh, just yeah,
Thumbnail.
thumbnail. Yeah, just yeah.
What a fucking teacher.
Oh, oh, oh no!
Oh,
Oh
my
no!
God.
Ankle's rolled. Oh no! Touch your crotch. No.
Oh,
God.
we're going there
Oh my
again.
God.
This is all for we were a spicy episode.
I want to hear
Spicy.
feedback on the comments, just for all the ones that I've been on, and just
If
I
you
just
look
wanna
at
know.
comments, people love it.
yeah, just people, please comment on
Much
the
feedback.
YouTube and hop on, and please just comment on me, just
Yeah.
like whether I don't know, just like too far out there, just gone.
Speaking on there, we finally sold our official first piece of merch, didn't we, Naz?
Yes, we've actually sold a couple
And
bits of merch.
second, I think.
So the on
Which
that
is
terms, yes,
fucking
the not just me buying the merch, which you've seen me wear the Beardyversary, the
Yeah,
1 year
don't count
Beardyversary.
these.
Don't
Not
count Jim buying
Yeah.
that first prototype style, me buying the Beardyversary, which I bought for myself, and then one for my dad. That's still me consuming the price of me buying them myself. We've actually had who was it, Sid and
and Bugsy.
Bugsy. They are some freshly on board listeners that are supporting the supporting us. Muchly appreciated. Then they're buying some merch. They got the like I said 1 year Beardyversary shirt, and they're on the roll to supporting us and spreading the love of the Beardy
And that's
Bros
without
around the
me
world.
ramming the fucking Beardy Bros down their throat. That was random.
Yeah, so yes, as always, we've got the
Like-
merch up on the store. There's always merch coming. We've got more ideas of merch coming in, but yes, we got that, and then especially the two designs that we've got recently put up there, which we saw in last week's
Chuck 'em
episode.
somewhere, I reckon, wouldn't you?
I'll
I'll
put the links up
Yeah,
again
yep,
in the
each
description.
side.
Yeah, I had the
Each side or
pictures last
Wookiee?
episode. I put the pictures
I'll
up.
put my hands
Oh,
up.
did
You
you?
put the shirts on my.
Yeah, they popped up when we talked about it last
Ah.
episode. Yeah, so yeah, we talked about last episode. We'll put share the link again in the description by all means. Check out that out. So we got the Dale and Jim variant. We might eventually
They're
down
both
the track.
fucking sick.
Well, that's exactly it.
I am
Eventually
going to
down the
get
track,
both. I'm going to get two of both.
have special variants. I was gonna say we might have some special variants down the end. We could have a little Wookiee variant pop in. Who knows?
Ooh.
Like a different shirt, the
Special
Wookiee
edition
variants.
Wookiee one.
It's the same thing. You just have a little Wookiee there instead. Like,
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
I mean, technically, everyone except for Wookiee has appeared on a shirt.
Oh,
Because
what,
Johnny's on
Johnny?
the 1 year.
Johnny's got a little Easter egg on the 1 year. He's got a little Easter
just
egg.
go on.
It's like the tiny
Nice.
little Easter egg. It's a little thing. It's his stream logo. I asked him if he
outline,
could use it,
isn't it?
and
Outline?
yeah, hey, what was that?
It's his outline, isn't
No, it's
it?
actually the actual picture. Oh no, I think it was the outline.
Oh,
You know, it's
I
the
think
thing on the promo. On the promo, I didn't use. I can't remember. No, it's the
it changed it.
something like that. In the thumbnail, no, in the thumbnail it has him on it, but in the merch it's the outline
Oh.
of him. But technically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's technically still referenced because it's meant to be like the mystery surprise gift kind of thing.
It's a
but
pre-order
technically-
thing, was it?
Yeah, it's like a
bonus
little
kind of
pre-order
thing.
hidden bonus, like surprise kind of thing, but it's the outline, so it's like at least a reference to him per se. So he's kind of appeared on merch already, so it's kind of interesting. So that's a little Easter egg. So we'll have to get some Wookiee in there at
I
some
bought
point.
the other Easter egg. You guys lick every shirt.
Yeah, there
and
is
send
that.
them out.
I got some people that.
But you have to stop because it's COVID, not COVID safe. is
Yeah,
it?
so these
Really?
were pre-licks.
It doesn't travel well.
no,
Well, I mean,
shit
we don't
doesn't
have
jump.
COVID, so we're fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
As long as you sanitize first with some alcohol, we're good.
Just bring out my limited edition shirt, and I'll personally crank to it, and then just it'll be all sticky
it a-
when it gets to them.
Give it a good old rubbing tug
Rub
on
and
the
tug,
fucking...
yeah,
Rub and tug.
Just it's glow in the dark special edition. Just put the black light to it.
Well, that's exactly it. It'd be like special edition glow in the dark. It's like, why is it not glowing in the dark? Oh, you need to use special edition UV light for it to glow in the dark.
Yeah, special
Oh,
edition
okay.
UV light.
And then
Also
it's just
made
like,
by
oh.
Wookiee.
yeah, personal. DNA
Actually,
on there.
imagine if that was a style. I don't know if anyone's done that before. Like, because it's not just certain body
What?
fluids.
Just on a shirt and sent it to people?
No, well, not that. No, but like
Like
There's
a
other,
blacklight.
yeah, like
shirt?
Oh,
black
blacklight,
design,
yeah.
like where you'd think, okay, you know, one
Yeah, but
design
who
for
uses
normal.
blacklight though? Like who
Well,
would?
you can get blacklight tattoos apparently.
So imagine doing different designs of the shirt. So you have a shirt for like daylight, it looks like one image. Glow in the dark shows another image. Imagine if you had one for UV light, it showed a different image again.
Yeah, I was thinking
Like, how
about
cool
that
that would
last
work.
podcast. It was just get
How
like
would-
a shirt.
It'd be-
3 images. How would that?
Because you
No,
wouldn't
no,
see
no.
glow in
You
the
would
dark, you wouldn't see
you would have the
UV.
main image, and the other one would be
In it,
behind it,
like
and it wouldn't show up
kind of-
unless it's.
Like under that right lighting and
yeah,
stuff.
but
Yeah,
how would you
under-
have 3? That'd be confusing. Like
But you wouldn't see them though, because the dark image you'd only see during the night, during the day. So when it's dark, if you're in a UV room, everything goes dark. You got things that when you got UV lighting or something, the
Yeah,
only things
yeah.
glow. So the main image you would kind of see, but it'd be very dull because only flat one color. But then it'd be like an outline because it's UV, like drawing,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
same as the glow in the dark. It's always an outline. So you have 2 different outlines, and because UV light wouldn't, per se, make the glow, it would react differently.
Yeah, that'd be two.
So-
You'd do it 2 images on a shirt.
Mm.
If you wanted 3, the thing
It
you would
wouldn't
do
be-
is something
3 would be
creative.
3 would be
It
hard.
would be like a braille thing where it would be like an outline
Mm.
of a penis, but you can only feel it on your shirt. So you've got to cock on your shirt. all
Well,
the time.
that's even another level again. It's just like.
It's like a 3D kind of shirt. Yeah.
But the bumping is the braille. It's like, oh, what does this? What does this say? I'm a mother loving cocks. Oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah. It's a blind. You get some blind person to feel your shirt every single time, and they translate it for you.
Oh,
That's like next level.
we'll have to make sure we make the braille across here, so it'll be fine. So it's easy for when people walk up, they can just read it and be like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. I know exactly what it is now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you get female shirts as well, and it has in braille like on where the chest is, and it says "I love your boobs."
No,
Eh.
that was like a TikTok I was scrolling across where people have been doing like like reacting like snippets of like porn scenes, but like without the actual porn. Like it's the acting to lead up to the porn. You know what I mean?
They can't.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like the cheesy acting, and there was this one where actually related to blindness. There's like this one, and she's like, "There, like, oh, what do you do? Something happened," and he's like, "Oh, I'm blind. Can't you see that I'm blind? I'm so blind." It's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you're blind." He's like, "Yeah, look, you can't see I can't see any like that." And he's like, "Let me," and he's like, touches all over her face. He's like, "Oh, you're pretty." I was like, wow. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how bad, cheesy? Like, is it specifically out of its way to be bad and cheesy? Like,
That is definitely bad cheesy porno acting.
I was
right
like, oh my god. I was
It's-
like, that's fucking hilarious. But there's so many of them popping up on
it's-
TikTok like that. It's just
there.
like
Just
all
need
the.
Johnny Sins just to start doing TikTok videos like that.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
well, he does. All his TikToks are serious. That's the thing, though. He does serious
Yeah,
TikToks. It's so
yeah.
out of. It's so weird for him to be in like He's like got the humor and stuff, and he's got like, kind of. He does, I guess, does humorous TikToks, but majority at the same time they're very like, always PG. Like, but I guess he would know what PG is because he's on the
Yeah,
adult
yeah, yeah.
spectrum of stuff. he
Well,
knows.
if you're not putting
Yeah.
a penis in a vagina, it's obviously PG.
Yeah.
But they're like, that's the thing. Thinking about it now, Johnny Sins is actually the modern day Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it used to be Ron Jeremy. It was the
Mm.
one that you'd go, oh yeah, all go. You know, the porno of the guys would be like the Ron Jeremy. Nowadays, it's Johnny Sins. So if
And
you want to
Johnny-
be like, yeah, like if you want to name a big porno star that's male, it's Johnny Sins now.
Mm.
Back in the day, it was Ron Jeremy.
Mm.
So.
he probably still gets around though.
Oh yeah, but he's getting pretty old. Like he used to be like popped up in a lot of movies and stuff, and
Just has
Well,
little cameo
there's
stuff.
cameos,
Well, that's
yeah.
exactly it. You look at him back then, of like when he was younger, he looked like the fit, like he looked tall and stuff. And now he's like this short, fat guy, like
Yeah.
Fuck
And
him.
it's like,
He looks like a little.
why do women love to sleep with him?
He looked like
Why?
like he started off as like he looked like he started off as a Luigi kind of thing, and now he's ended up looking like a
Yeah.
Wario. Like it's just like what?
Luigi.
he was tall, like he wasn't fat, like he wasn't skinny either, but he was like at least felt somewhat buff, and he was like
Yeah,
fit.
yeah,
and
yeah.
It just looks so different now. He's like,
So if they ever do another live action Mario Brothers movie, he would be perfect for the part. And he
Like
could,
a-
and the
like a
great thing is
Wario.
he could do the adult film version of it as well.
yeah.
Oof.
Um,
Not Mario.
I was going to say, speaking of TikTok, though, I was going to bring this up as well, which is interesting enough, which is a surprising little twist of things for going viral on TikTok. Our special little friend of ours, Bamshki, we talk about every now and then, he recently went viral on TikTok.
Nice.
So he's just doing whatever, and he's just been filming things lately, and he decided to record a spider that was in his house. And it was just a spider there, and he was like, "Oh, this is all sparkling, glittery. What is this? You know, what's going on here? This looks kind of trippy, cool. You know, for like, oh, what's this?" And then it cuts to him. He's got it in the bag, and it's like, "Oh God, the glittery sparkles isn't sparkles. It's little baby spiders on the back of the mother, and it's just like a million little babies everywhere in this bag, and the mother's just there, and it's just like, it's just like, whatever reason, it's like just pure wholesome content. With it was kind of funny because it's like goes on peaceful and he's like, "Oh fuck," in the video. It's kind of funny. It just seems all wholesome and content, but it's just like, it's just natural content that's just taken off, and it's
Yet 5 minutes later, he's like setting a light to his house.
Yeah, it was like burned it down.
Yes.
But that's exactly it. But
I will never live in this house again.
well, especially you've got the mother that's like, who knows how big it was, like maybe yay big, and then you've got these little babies that you're going to multiply into more of her at the later date, you know, being male or female. Like, that's a lot of spiders. Dump it. I'm done. But no, fuck this shit. But that meme of that chick where she's like, and the house is on fire.
Fuck the house. You fucking have it.
But no, I think it was posted within a week now. It's been up for possibly a week, I think it might have been. But it's amassed amassed nearly 700,000 views.
Ooh.
And he's amassed nearly 105,000 likes on the video. It's got his account up as well. His account was like lowball, I think about 200, not even 200 followers at one point. Within that week, now he's over 1,000 followers. He's like 1,200 followers he's at now.
Snap.
It's like, it's just all it takes. It just takes any kind of, like we were talking about that last week's episode. We were talking about
you don't try to go viral. You don't try it.
And that's exactly it, which was like exactly referring back to last week's episode where we talked about trending and going viral and how things happen. It's just sometimes things, it's just being natural, not being, you know, don't try to do things because it's fake. You know it's going to be fake, and it's the genuine. You
can always tell as well, but that, like, you can't fake that.
No, that's exactly it. And he's
just being genuine is that's all you have to do.
And that's exactly
yourself,
it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, also share it. You don't just film it and just leave it.
Yeah, you know, like when someone takes a lot of photos on their phone, but they never upload them ever. Yeah, no.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, same.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. It could be simple plain, you upload it to the internet, next minute the FBI's at your door. You don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what photos you're taking on your phone, buddy. I think you should delete them now.
There's a joke.
Keep them on your phone.
So that's what the FBI's after.
He's not actually at home. He's in like a bunker.
I'm in a bunker, so disclosed location.
Yeah.
I'm a mole rat. You're never gonna find me.
Saddam Hussein.
He's in a fucking green screen behind him.
Yeah. Just falls down. It's the exact same setting behind me.
I'm serious though. It does look fake behind you for some reason though. Like it looks so flat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like it's weird.
Yeah. It's the breeze that's coming through from the cave that you're in.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it's kind of funny.
What was that Saddam Hussein?
I'm about to say Saddam.
Saddam Hussein walks past. Hey, where's the Coke? Is it in the fridge?
Yeah, to the left.
To the left. You need to go out there and get some more bread.
We're in lockdown. I told you, we're in the bunker.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, though.
Lockdown, Daz.
Lockdown, yeah.
Wookie's fine. He's in lockdown also.
Yeah, I'm just in the other corner of the room.
Yeah, realistically, he's just over the other corner. He's the one that's been like, where's the Coke at?
You could play that off because you've got the same wall colour.
I know.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
He could theoretically be in a different zone, so...
You just need to pan the camera to your right, and I'm just there, just sitting in the corner.
We should do that one day, though. Do a thing where it looks kind of like the similar sets and just be like have you come over or something and try and find a corner that looks very similar in my house, film it like that, and then be like, what? We're on the set, and then I come over, like, hey! I'm like, wait, what? And it's like, from my set, like, just go to the other room and just be like, what's up? You know, and we just dump into the camera like, what? That's confusing. Are we in the same room? Yes, we are. We're in the same house. But, what was I gonna? There was something else I was gonna say before we got sidetracked.
Jesus.
We're talking about Blizzard and
Blizzard. Oh, there's something I was gonna segue from the whole viral thing. That's what I was gonna say. The difference of being genuine and then trying to live off that trend. I was gonna say because I have noticed a few times he's I mean, he has been going out recording bugs and stuff again, but that's the thing too is he's been finding a lot of interesting bugs. Like he's been finding some really interesting bugs that he's been filming, which is
Is he just
genuine.
going to be the bugs guy now?
But that's what I
The
mean. Like,
bug
yeah, are they
guy?
going to stick to that,
Bugsky.
or do you make other different content? Do you try and go to your way to try and find that, and then it starts feeling too fake again
Hmm.
because one thing was genuine, and then everything else is trying to replicate that same high. Where
Yeah.
what's going to happen. Sometimes you just got to take it as a win. Like me with that one video I did a while back, which was I did that cut to do with my Halo helmet, and
Yeah.
that took
Yeah.
off like that was to me that was my viral sense of it. It was only small, but it picked up more than what of my content whatever it was, and I knew I was never going to be able to replicate that kind of content again. Like it
You don't
was
try and
based on
replicate
that.
your last thing. You do just
No.
something completely
So,
different.
and that's exactly it. All my content is always different. Like I just keep doing, unless I'm doing a series set of like a style that's part of a set, like I've been doing recently, where I've been doing the last few videos I post on TikTok were me doing my bad. Like I can do my Morty impression quite well, but my throat was horrible yesterday. So I just did a set of photos of me doing a very bad Morty impression, and I was just reacting, like doing all different kinds of videos, but they were all with a bad Morty impression. So I just did a whole set of those, and that was just because that's what I was feeling for that day. Like I just wanted to do a whole bunch of those and be done with it. And, I may come back to that style as a joke later on. Who knows? Like it's however my content feels, how I feel at that moment of time, what I want to record. So
Agree that.
it's one of those things. It can vary.
Well,
So
remember
speaking of that,
a few years ago, there was a guy that used to make all the like the little shacks and the sheds out in the bush, and all that kind of stuff. The guy who first started, I can't remember the name of the channel on YouTube. He just did that for fun, and he was based in Queensland, up far north, and he started doing that. But then everyone else started copying him. But
do one right now.
those ones were like obvious copies of doing exactly, but some of them were very, what's the word, like very staged. Like one minute it's this, and then you can tell it wasn't done by like like a plank, just like a piece of wood, like he would do it. You could see it'd be like, oh, that obviously looks like it's been done by machinery or a shovel, like not genuine like the other guys would. But while all the others were just very, all staged. And because he got copied a lot, it just...
The thing, if you do something successful, someone else will go, oh, ding.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about that last week, and it was
It's
just...
going to happen.
It's always going to happen, and like no one's really heard from him in a while. So I haven't seen any uploads, but apparently he's doing up a book now, and he's going to teach like classes on how to do the same thing, from what I've heard. But that's what I've been hearing. But yeah, it's like when you get known to do something, one thing, you get cornholed into just doing that one thing. You can't like. Yeah, exactly. Even if
a label,
to an extent, but if you have other interests, it's like, are you just doing these other things for the sake of just rehashing the channel or just rehashing content?
So I'll say sorry for a second. There one thing. Speaking of TikTok, I don't think it's going to come through properly. Posted 5 hours ago. It's good to see that they've got busy things to do right now.
What? Juddy.
Juddy on TikTok doing his car things. What's up, Juddy? Promoting his TikTok. Yeah, his TikTok is Justin Parker 042 calling you out right now. Check out his TikTok. He's been TikToking his adventure still of him working on his car. So he's been going. That seems, and that's the thing too. Like he had content. Like Justin's had Juddy's had content on his TikTok as well, and like the things he's done, and now he's kind of in like that little groove where he's been filming him doing his car up, and it's kind of like at the sense too gotten followers because they're intrigued and like invested in seeing him working on his car and building his car up from scratch basically, and that's the same kind of concept you were saying with that other bloke building in the wood. You get stuck in a niche, and where do you go from there? Do you stay with it? Like, if once Juddy's done with his car, what is he going to do? Is he going to keep doing other cars, like because people invested?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, or do you just go, I'm done with this because it was only for this project. I'm going to go on to another project. Are those people that were invested going to stick around for that, or are they going to move on? Like,
yes.
Well, if they're sticking around just for the car, well then
It's hard to say
That's
with
just
people. Like
let 'em
maybe
be them.
people become
Yeah.
more invested because they've been there long enough and they may stay. Like
Mm.
it's interesting to see more the sense of like what people do, like how people react with other. You know what I mean?
It's just a thing. Like if they don't like what you're doing, they'll just leave.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Like
Some people stay, some people go.
yeah.
But it's interesting how
Although, oh,
you get a lot of people that will linger no matter what. Like people like like
depends how his
your content for you.
personality is. Like
Mm.
if he's
That's
doing
they-
himself doing everything, then
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
that's-
he's been.
people should
He's been.
be there.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Sorry, I kept like stuttering in between you were saying.
Well,
uh, I was gonna say though, Juddy's been getting his daughter in now to like do his intros and stuff for his videos. And so every time he was doing it, he goes, "We're gonna build some shit," and he's been teaching his daughter to say it. So at the start now, at
Oh,
times she'll be
no.
going, "We're gonna build some shit," and she says it like adorably, like kid. And I'm like, "Oh god," and she's just getting litty.
Oh, no.
It's like a dad, and they're getting off change. It's just like, oh my god. So Juddy, what's up? What's up, motherfucker? Check him out.
I've been seeing his TikToks on bloody Instagram now.
Yeah, I think he's showing him to there too.
I was like, fucking TikTok. I'm not
Tic
getting
Tacs.
that. Stop making me watch them elsewhere.
Tic Tacs.
Tic Tac.
But yes, so I know
Just
Tic
don't
Tacs.
see-
Tic
Yeah.
Tacs seems to be his friend.
I personally, I don't watch. I've watched a few
No.
TikToks. When someone posts like a link to a video, I'll go, "Oh, okay," it will pop up. But I don't have an account.
You
There
don't
you
know
go,
any
Des.
way
Send,
to.
send
Yeah.
him to Wookie. He'll watch them
Yeah.
if you send him
Yeah,
the link.
I'll watch, but I don't personally go my way and watch a whole bunch of
Mm.
TikToks.
Well, TikTok's
It's-
everywhere too. Like
yeah,
format.
yeah, exactly. Like, and some of the group channels that I'm in, like for Facebook or whatever, or Reddit, or there's always someone sending a TikTok link, and I'll hop in, watch it for like 5 seconds. Like the last one I watched was this guy like just got out of the hospital and his like right foot's all bandaged because he got shot in the foot, and then he's playing Russian roulette with another guy, and he's like, and then he ends up shooting, like getting his other foot shot. It was just like, oh god.
What is wrong with
God.
people?
I know. It was just one of those just random videos. I was just like,
Stage.
why? It was just
I
like,
reckon.
I'm gonna get my friend back because we're playing Russian roulette and shooting each other in the foot. So it's just naturally he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna totally
himself in the foot.
Yeah, he gets shot in both feet now.
It's the biggest bit of irony kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like
His friends-
fucking. It reminds me of Dozer. He loses his wallet, finds another wallet.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, only how?
Yeah.
Lost my
Yes.
key. Oh, I found this.
Yeah, some people have
It's gonna
luck.
be-
Some
it's gonna
people
be-
have very bad luck.
It's gonna be build a new friendship for him possibly. So who knows?
I don't reckon. He doesn't speak English, remember?
Yeah, who knows? It's got the guy's green card in it, so
Yeah, that's dangerous. That is. I can't believe he actually said all that. It's like, huh.
it's funny.
Sucks with the green card guy, whoever that is.
Yeah. that's-
Like, just imagine he gets called in and say, "Where's your green card?"
Hello, senor, I lost my wallet.
That person's got it
Jeez,
all the way,
no.
like over there. Like, oh my god,
Yeah, that's not good.
no.
Um,
Hey,
Like,
lose a
losing your
wallet.
ID.
Stays in your pocket. Jesus.
I want to bring this up because you told me this the other day, and I was in complete shock. I was in complete shock because I'm like, "There's no way. What the fuck are you telling me? How is this true?" But
Me or
apparently,
Jim.
no, Jim. So apparently,
What?
Arthur has been running for 25 years,
Oh yeah,
and it is finally wrapping up after all these years.
yeah. Finally
Wait,
ending.
what's this?
Arthur the
Arthur.
cartoon series.
Been
Yeah,
running
not familiar with it.
The,
I think. Wait, let me just Google
Arthur,
this real
the
quick.
cartoon. I could say
DW, the
Arthur DW.
Oh, comic book series.
The cartoons. The
Oh, the cartoon.
Aardvark. He was an
cartoon.
Aardvark. And I said, hey, what a
Hey.
wonderful kind of day. I can't remember how the song goes. That's
work
how
and play and
Get along with each other.
Oh, Arthur. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
25
said-
years, bro.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's been going for
Yeah.
25 years.
Holy, yeah. Just looking at all the actors that have played Arthur. It's like,
Yeah, I'm
There's a
like, I need to
few.
catch up on Arthur now because there's so many seasons I missed because I don't know what's happened for so long. I'm like, what? It's been going for that long? Holy shit.
How
That's
did I,
crazy.
was that when I was drunk?
I'm
Might have
familiar
been.
with Arthur. It's just I've never
Because
actually watched it.
I went on Prime. I was like, "Hey, Dad, Arthur." No, I was on here, and I was like, "Dad, Arthur been up for 25 years."
Yeah,
So I
'cause
jumped on Prime. I was like, "Yep."
There's like the
It's a
famous
thing.
fist meme.
yeah, one of
I'm
the episodes, you
familiar with
actually see the
that.
thumbnail on
Yeah,
one of the
the
episodes.
fist. Yeah,
The fist, yeah.
there's a few Arthur memes, but especially the fist. I think that's the first one that I ever came across.
But yeah,
'Cause
25
I
years it's
love
been
my
going for, and
memes.
it's finally wrapping up, and I'm like, oh, what's been going on? I want to know what they've been
Yeah,
covering.
what
I
Like
don't know
the?
what?
where I saw it. I think it was on Twitter. It was
Because
like
everyone's talking
Arthur
about it ending.
after
So
25 years. I didn't think it was a cartoon. I thought it was something else.
that's
And I
like
actually
Yeah,
went, "Oh, ooh.
Arthur the
That's
Aardvark
like SpongeBob. That's been going. That's still going.
in the sense like it ended it, but it kind of exists still. It's a weird thing for SpongeBob. They did that new series that's supposed to be happening. I don't know.
Weird.
It's
There's a lot
weird.
of
weird.
shows
Yeah,
like that. I just it makes you wonder what else is still going, like Arthur, that we just haven't noticed.
yeah.
Well, exactly it.
There's probably
Like,
some
'cause
obscure
Arthur, I
things that
thought
are
that
just
ended back
like
when we were kids. Like, come
Yeah.
on, because I was seeing repeats, and then I was like, if there's that many episodes, why am I seeing repeats?
that means Arthur would have started late '90s then.
Yeah, it was
96.
96,
Yeah,
95, I
96.
think.
damn.
I was 6
Mm-hmm.
years old when it started.
I was like, oh,
I watched
like,
it when I was a kid from then for a long
I don't know.
time.
I used to watch it every fucking afternoon at like 4 p.m.
Yep.
4:30.
All the shows. I remember all the shows I used to watch when I was a kid would be like, it'd be Dragon Ball and stuff in there, but it'd be a lot of Nickelodeon, watching Cat
Used to get up at
Dog and
6
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah.
Angry
for
Beavers and
Men in
friggin'
Black and
Rocket
Digimon.
Power and Digimon. Yeah, Men in Black was good. The Ghostbusters cartoon, like so many cartoons. Like you think about it when you're a kid, how many cartoons you actually manage to squeeze in, and then you're an adult and you're thinking, "Oh, I got the time. I could do this in the morning." And you get up in the morning, you're like, "Fuck, I barely have time to fucking put my toast
All
in."
we did was get up, parents did everything, so we
Yeah,
just had to
yeah.
just
But
get
that's what I
up,
mean, though. Get in there and
have
sit there.
breakfast, go to fucking school.
But like I watched so much in the morning before going to school, and you'd go to school and you start at like 8 o'clock or 8:30, whatever
Yeah,
time
but
school
don't
started.
forget cartoons. Those
But they
ones
started
went
like
for
6 o'clock or something like that.
15, 20 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe.
but you don't realize how many episodes you actually squeezed in of
They up at
shows.
6 o'clock, and school is at 9, 8:30.
Yeah.
That's like 2 hours worth of stuff.
Yeah,
It's a lot when you think about it when you actually add it in. It's like
I,
holy
I
crap,
fucking miss that Men in Black show. That was fucking good.
so good. That and Ghostbusters, man. So many cartoons I used to watch, like so much.
All those are
Well,
on DVD at fucking JB.
I was about to say Ghostbusters. The latest trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife dropped.
Yes.
Did I say a zombie in there? Did I say actual zombie?
Kind of. It was like in a
Undead. It's still
diner. There
ghosts.
was like it was a ghost, but it did look like a zombie. Was
I
that?
haven't
But
seen
yeah,
the trailer yet. But
the latest trailer is pretty good. Like they do hint at the other, like the previous Ghostbusters. They're not like trying to go
the 2015 one.
No, the original Ghostbusters
Oh,
members.
yeah, that's a sequel to them anyway. So
Yeah. So it's like a the third movie in the
It's a
which
trilogy.
does make sense.
Yeah.
Why make the other one after?
That was like a reboot, weird.
Yeah, no,
side
that was a
story.
reboot and that failed because of the whole uproar and
I should have just made this then, and then
They were
Yeah,
going.
I
This was in
know,
the works
I
for a
know.
long time in general, and then they wanted to do
yeah,
that for
yeah,
some weird,
because
stupid reason.
the movie is being
don't even know.
directed by the son of one of the original members of Ghostbusters, Ramus. It's Rami. It's like his son's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a tribute to his dad as well, because they've always had this idea for the movie. So if you're not familiar with the storyline for the new one, it's kind of like the grandchildren of like one of the members, the original members, and it's like they go to his old farm town, this farmhouse that they gave to him in inheritance, and they find like the original Ghostbusters van and all this other stuff, and it's kind of like their deep diving into the history of like their family, which is like their granddad used to be
Yeah.
part of the Ghostbusters team, and it's kind of like everyone's forgotten about that because it was back in the 80s, and that
Yeah, because I
ghosts were
think
real. And
they're meant to be, because I think it was, yeah, they're going back to it's like the inheritance, like you say, but I think they like moved to the town to move because they were struggling as well. But they're also
yeah,
selling
they're
up, they're packing
struggling.
up the house to sell it as well. I think they were selling it.
Yeah,
So they're going
essentially because they're
through
broke.
selling all the old goods because the grandfather had passed away. They're like, let's sell his goods because we got to,
They're broke as well. Yeah,
yeah, do everything like that. So they got to sell it all off because it's what you kind of do after time.
yeah.
And they
Yeah,
find things and more and gets, hey.
I got pissed off by the fucking what's it called for the trailer? The where you see Paul Rudd. He looks like fucking John Wick. He looks like
Oh, for the
Keanu Reeves.
what in the Ghostbusters trailer?
Yeah, look at the thumbnail on that last
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah, because he's got the facial hair and the long
He
hair and all that
looks
kind
like
of stuff.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's like the budget version of Keanu Reeves.
I was like, I looked at him and went,
If Keanu Reeves versed Ghost.
But yeah, so something happens. So there's like the entrapment that they end up. I guess he built what the premises was that they always had that containment facility to store all the ghosts.
Well, it's one of the grandchildren finds one of the old trappers, the trap rat, like the kind of the rat traps, kind of you could say, hidden away, and we don't know the rest of it and how that goes out. But like originally, that was always used as like temporary, like containment system. When they capture a ghost, they take it back to the main containment system.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
in the movie,
it looks like it's moved. Like, because remember how they had in the city in that they had that station where they had their main.
yeah.
It looks like what they've done because they've had to sell everything off and everything kind of died because ghostbusting wasn't really a thing. They had to move everything, so they had the farm out in the middle of nowhere, so they could build a giant containment so they could store it all there. So it was out the way.
It might be that, but we don't know the rest of it because there's hints at like ley lines as well. They talk about that in the movie, in the trailer. There's a lot of breakdowns for it. You can go check out.
Well, it's got the big well, and all the original monsters are coming back basically as well, because you see a lot of the hellhounds from the first one and everything come back. And,
yeah, you did see one of the hellhounds, something like that. There was like an old Slimer. Like an old, like
different
Slimer,
version, different Slimer, yeah.
Yeah, different kind of Slimer, but he like looked older. They probably can't use the original Slimer because it's probably.
He does.
He is the original one.
He does appear. No,
he could be that. Yeah.
There was the first trailer, I think it was, it actually showed the original Slimer in it.
Well, it's like 30 years since the first on this one, so it could be an old.
If you watch the cartoon, there's other versions of Slimer because in the cartoon, that Slimer that we know of in the movies, he actually got picked on by other versions of like his whatever they were.
Yeah, same type looking. So they're just ghosts anyway. Variants, so it's just.
I reckon it could just be an old version of him, really.
I just figured they probably can't use the likeness of Slimer because it might be because they used it in the last, the reboot.
Like I said, and
it might be something of, copyrights. One of those things.
Who knows?
Who knows? But the new trailer just dropped for it. Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that should have been released last year, but it's been released at the end of this year. Hopefully. COVID, yeah, and hopefully it actually does get released and not delayed again like many other movies.
I reckon it will get released.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, Scarlett Johansson actually filed a lawsuit against Disney with the release of Black Widow because it was supposed to be theatrical only, but then they decided to release it on Disney Plus, which was validating the contract. It was void of contract because of it, because he made a certain amount of money, percentage off the ticket sales, and because it was put onto Disney Plus,
people went there and.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly the big thing to that, because they like say the contract, because that's it. That's the other thing we're going to bring up. There was both of them, both Scarlett Johansson and Emma Stone are in the same books, And
Yes, Emma
it's
Stone is also
skeptical
doing
if
the same thing.
I was gonna say whether it was for Jungle Cruise, whether
Mm.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt may have had. I don't know if they had any production, like, because I know for those Black Widow
Yeah,
and Cruella, like Emma Stone and Scarlett Johansson were executive producers of those films. Like they
yes, yeah,
became the profit earners and like they were the main actors,
yeah,
actresses, but they were also the main profit holders, because they had where they held because they technically owned uh, rights to those. So
yeah. And normally they
But
would have
Jungle
something
Cruise,
written in
is that
contract.
out now?
yeah, it's come out now on both cinemas and streaming services at the same time. And I'm
Yeah,
wondering, I
yeah.
don't know who the executive producer is, if the Dwayne the Rock Johnson and they are part of the executive producer, whether this is going to happen again, same system, or if this is
I'll have a look
directly
for you.
just a Disney thing. But yeah, no, like I say, there's that they, which is true, yeah, because even not just them, the theater owners as well are in the same vote as well because they were promised releases of big movies, Black Widow and Cruella, and they ended up getting like the Disney Plus ended up getting more of the sales, so no one was going to theaters, and now theaters aren't having both the sales to promote, keeping them doors open to run in like
Mm.
US and stuff like that because that's where it's struggling the most. That they're losing out on sales because they're not having movies to run because people are like, I'll stay at home, which is what you've said before. Yeah, it's good to do that, but I reckon they need to think of a system which I was thinking have that 1 month of cinema release first, then
More than
after
that,
that
probably three.
Yeah.
well, that's exactly it. Do 3 months or whatever it is, and then do Disney Plus with the premium, and then do the free release because they basically looking at Black Widow drop at the same time. Black Widow sits on the paid side of things on Disney Plus for at least 2 months, and then or whatever, I think it was 2 months, and then gets added free to Disney Plus after that.
It's just done by some Colette Sarah
So
person.
they mostly won't have any input, so it doesn't really matter where they put it. It's Disney's direct right holds compared to
At
this being
least
this.
it's an average movie from what I've just
It
seen.
looks pretty chill.
Well, I thought, yeah, with those movies, it would have been released out in cinemas for the normal span of that they normally released on cinemas, and then afterwards they're
Come
released onto streaming services. Like for example, the Tomorrow War that was released
That's
on
good.
cinemas, and literally 2 days afterwards, it was put on to
on Amazon,
streaming
was it Amazon?
on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was made
So
by Amazon, so it had to be on the streaming.
yeah.
They just want to get extra
Exactly.
revenue out of it. That's basically what they were
Mm.
trying to do, is just get the boosted
Well,
revenue.
Get it in the cinemas to get people hyped, and they go, take it, put it straight on the Prime, and
But
But what do you expect anyway in this day and age? Like, like we've recently gotten a lockdown in Queensland. We can't go to the cinemas, so what are we expected to do for the next 3 days?
yeah, but Disney movies rarely go straight using the theaters, and then
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Well, the way it's set up on Disney Plus is basically it's not on there for free. It's part of like a premium. So it's on there.
oh, it's not a
but then
movie
you have
ticket
to
though, which is
yeah,
the
you
problem.
have to pay like extra $35.
$35, yeah,
$35 to watch Black Widow. But then you can watch it as many times you want
until it's released free, basically.
until it's released free.
You have to
Exactly.
get an early access. That's all it is. It is early premium access.
Yeah.
It's,
That should be its own original cost, like just pay an extra $5-10 for the Premier Access. But
well, they need to they will
thing.
try to make the revenue from it. But the worst problem about this is being like it's the $35. Whatever amount is paid, when it's part of the streaming service due to their contracts, it goes straight to Disney and not to any of them. And that's where the big issue is because like with friggin' Black Widow, that was like say meant to be 2 years ago, that and before a pandemic existed, the direction of the movie being released would have made a film budget release like in theaters. It would have made sense. That's what the contract was for. It's kind of annoying that we've had like for them it sucks for them that the fact that we've had this pandemic now lasts for basically 2 years. We're at the point and Disney not at all, like they apparently Scarlett and Emma's managers and lawyers and stuff try to renegotiate new contracts, but Disney didn't want to balance with them. It's just like you should be folding with this because you promised them money in the first place. Then like revenue should be made. Like you're digging yourself in with like, not supporting the people that you got working for you. You know,
they're going to lose 2 people for hire again. Like they're not going back there.
That's exactly it. Because like they're just like, well, no, tough luck. You signed a contract, for theater release. Oh, it's not our fault that theater wasn't like. Well, you really going to do people dirty like that? They like Scarlett Johansson was one of the actresses you've had play roles that's helped you make a bunch of the money.
Yeah.
Like they had input. Like
And with her gone,
it's
you
just
can
like
recast Black Widow, but it won't be the same.
yeah, exactly. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just like why would you do this?
Well, they've killed
dirty
off the
to people?
character anyway. This was kind of like the last
Yeah, but like
hurrah.
they
Yeah.
But-
can't really bring it back if they do fire or she leaves or
Yeah, if she wants to come back in a cameo or something like that, yeah.
It just ruins the narrative. But yeah, it's just dirty. It's just sad that they. Didn't
Well,
get
she's not
contacted.
the only one. It was Emma Stone as well.
Mm.
But here's the thing: it's like, sure, if they arranged previously with the contract before, yep, this was going to happen. There are special circumstances to it as well. It's a pandemic. What are you going to do if cinemas is closed, like half of them, or if not all
That's
of them?
exactly it.
yeah, we'll put it
Around
there
the state.
first. And
Yeah,
get
it's
They
on
should
it.
have
then
reinstated and
if she
like,
was
worded.
still getting revenue from the online sales as well, just give
I
her
reckon she get
that would be fine. That
But
would
yeah,
be fine.
exactly,
Plus,
but-
she got paid for the movie as well, didn't she? As well. And
Yeah.
how much money does she have? It's like I just don't like it when
too greedy.
it's
in
the
a grey
principle
area.
for it. Yeah, it's a grey area. I understand the principle of it, and contracts are contracts. But at the same time, if you've got bucket loads of money and you want to start jumping up and down for more bucket loads of money, I just don't care. So I seriously just be like, yeah,
Yeah, no,
just go, just fuck right off, just don't put that piece of news in front of me.
a lot of the
Just
issue
don't really
is
care.
a lot of the issues coming around though.
I'll talk about it, but
Is she was given a budget. This is where a lot of the problems come from. Is she was given a budget to produce this because she was executive producer. She actually got given a budget to try and produce this film that was to help pay the staff, the catering, the other actresses as well. Like she became because she's like executive producer. It was her run gun. She had to do everything. The fact that they're not making money back from because the main revenue that Disney said that they'll make money from was the theater revenue because they're not making that money back. It therefore not just affects her, it affects the other actresses and actors, the cameraman,
when you break
the
it
lighting,
down like that,
the catering, all that's being affected as well from what they're getting at. Like it's not just her, it's everyone that helped on the production is basically getting screwed over because Disney's like, oh, we've got the theater streaming money, we'll take that. Haha, this is strictly our money because that's what the contract says.
Yep.
Where you're not making revenue from the theater release, which is like any kind of box office release. You know, you look at when you look at a film when it gets done, the box office release is what makes the money. You know, that earning gets back and that helps pay for everything that's done. So now it's like it's lost money that she's not made back. It's like basically what Disney's gone to like, here's your loan, make this, and then make the money so you'd make that revenue back. Well, like here's the loan, she's filmed this, she's got no revenue back, so she can't pay back the loan basically.
Yeah.
Where it comes basically kind of that whole system.
If you break it down like that, because I haven't really looked into the thing.
Yeah, but I reckon she's
like I
going
said
to do a lot more than what she would have. Now.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. That's where the big issue is, and that's the fact that they've done it not just to Scarlett Johansson, to Emma Stone as well.
Yeah, but the
It's
thing
just
is,
like,
why is
ooh.
it that time apart? So who's going to be next?
Well, exactly. That's why
anyone else releasing a movie with Disney is going to get screwed as well. But
they're
how
not
can
getting a
you
good
compete?
reputation, are they?
And that's why
Disney's always been like, everyone knows about Disney's little deep, dark secret past where, Mr. Walt Disney never really had a thing for, anyone that wasn't white.
Yeah, but like, just think like that. It's been getting worse though. Like people are calling them out now. People are saying stuff.
oh, there's so much stuff going on.
Well, there's a lot of money behind Disney, and
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking Activision.
especially with like, they got a lot of flack with Star Wars when they first got Star Wars and they started making the new trilogy, and that trilogy was dog shit.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm just
still.
putting it on the table
Just
right now.
the Mandalorian. The
new
Mandalorian.
trilogy
Just
was-
ignore that and just watch Mandalorian. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only good Disney Star
Yeah,
Wars
they're
they've
so
made
screwing that up now. But
is probably
people.
more of the animated stuff and the series and the Mandalorian. That's it. The trilogy, the new trilogy, was like instant cash cow. Instant like just to sell fucking toys and.
it went to PG. Like
souls.
Star Wars wasn't for kids, really.
Well, it's like we always had the dismemberment. You always had people.
No.
cut
It
and-
wasn't
didn't
just
have any of that.
always for kids. Star Wars was for everyone. That's the
Yeah,
point.
but now it's like it's dumbed down. Like I've seen all the fights and like no one's bleeding, no one's
No one's
cutting
getting
limbs
cut,
off, no
dismembered, yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
with
oh,
the
it hit me.
Well, with a
Just a little fucking
lightsaber and a
scratch.
blaster, it instantly cauterizes the wound, so you're not going to have blood. But I
Oh, like the
completely understand.
lightsaber
This is
scene,
the Star
nothing.
Wars in me, all right?
Yeah, but
The
still, we saw
lightsaber
like how
did
many limbs
nothing.
get cut off. Like we had decapitations and arms getting cut
Yeah,
off
yeah,
and people
yeah.
getting cut in half and all kinds of destructions. And now it's just like someone comes in for a slice. It's like, oh, it's left to burn. Oh, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you. Oh, now Kylo has no shirt on. He's like, look at my scar.
Yeah, isn't it
Like, what the
Kylo
fuck
Ren
is
who
your
gets the
problem? What is your
shit beat out of him with the fucking lightsaber? He's
But
like,
that's the thing.
I'm fine.
That's the violence was like okay, mediocre. Star Wars was never focused really on the violence. It was the story. It was the whole concept of it. But when you start fucking with the story just to push certain types of agendas, like we've got to have a black guy in there, we've got to have an Asian in there, we're gonna have this, we're gonna sell toys, we're gonna have a convoluted storyline just for the sake of bringing out new characters.
and then they stuffed up the whole scene at
toys.
the end when they could have had the strong woman scene, but they made too political. Oh, we need to be strong women, so they had her stand there when the scene was portrayed as being like she was going to stand there and then have all the Force ghosts powering up behind her,
Man,
like giving her the energy. Like they cut that out. Like that would have been an epic scene. They cut all that out, but they're like, oh, we need to make it more empowering. So it's just her empowering herself. It's just like you've ruined the whole concept behind it. Like.
Well, they hyped up the Knights of Ren, and it was like
Barely
the only time they actually really showed them off was right at the end. And then Kylo Ren just fucking kills them all.
Like that's
and
that does me in too. Like everyone turned each other straight away like it was nothing like that. They turned on each other. Like that's no, it's the Knights of Ren. Like
yeah, they hype up something and then they just be like, where was that leading? Nowhere. More money, and that's essentially
it's to make toys.
Just to make toys. Like there was the Knights of Ren. They were hidden here for like 5 minutes, and we talked about them once in Fingo. And here's more money.
Because
that was pretty much it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you look at every character that appears in those movies, they made a toy of them. They specifically popped random characters. There's characters they made toys of. That's like, when were they in the thing? And you'll watch, though, in one scene in the background, they had no lines or anything. There's just one character in the background for a small moment in the movie, and they made a toy of them because it's basically they had any excuse they could to make more range of toys.
Yeah. Or they killed off Luke Skywalker in the most stupidest way.
I've bowed movements.
Fucking, disappeared. Or it wasn't just that.
Even he hated it.
Like, yeah, exactly. You could just tell he was just like, why? Like the first one was so you could get away with half the bullshit, but then they just made it worse and worse and worse. And it was just like, let's give this person a love interest for the sake of love interest. It's like, why? It doesn't contribute to
good
the
ones
story.
in Solo and Rogue One, but the other ones be trash. Like the main ones be trash.
That's what got me though too. Is that fight scene with Luke? Like it was cool for a cool concept for a fight scene, but then why do you have to go and die? Like that was the most shittiest way for him to die.
Like, yeah, and he wasn't even there to die, really.
Like it was like they could have just had this whole scene, done this whole thing, had that, and still had him there doing other stuff. But like, oh no, he's done this. He used his engine up. He's dead. It's like that's the most shittiest way of having to die. Like it was a cool fight scene, but yeah.
Go back and drink your blue milk and play with your.
That scene was just so like, what the fuck are they doing?
That scene was stupid. I don't know why.
Just suck on the teat of blue milk.
That didn't belong in the movie. Seriously, blue milk, just sucking it from the udder, just no.
Ruined our theory of where it ever came from, and they debunked where it came from. It's like, why? Why did you have to make this thing up?
It came from the coked up mind of some Disney exec who was like, we can make toys out of these. You're right?
Who was the director of the new ones?
Oh,
Abrams, wasn't it? JJ?
No, Abrams was like the first one, and he kind of like was in charge of it, like producer, and then they gave it to another director in the second.
The second one was a complete fuck up. They ruined everything.
The third one as well.
Someone else came back for the third one. I think it was someone else.
Yeah, I think Abrams had to come back for the third one because they fucked it up after the second one.
The second one was atrocious. Like there was a story there for the second one, and apparently ended up like completely changing what was there for the premise of the second movie. They're like, I'm going to do this instead.
Exactly.
Like they had they had the concept of like, this is what we're doing with the first, like the new trilogy, the first, second, and third. This is what we're doing. They had it there, and the guy for the second one goes, oh, it's my turn. Because I'm the director, I'm going to do what I want to do instead. It's just like, we've got a thing there. Like, it's there. Like,
I mean, that's what directors do, but they also try and weave in the last one. Like,
oh, they did none of that. Like, you could legit
like,
take that movie out and watch the first one and the third one. Or, you know,
it'll be trash, but
like, you can, I mean, you don't have to,
like, not as bad.
how it's done as being a trilogy, you can basically near on watch them as standalone movies. Like, how they're done, they're like,
I'm gonna watch them.
It's fucking,
So yeah, the third one was director of J.J. Abrams because he had to come back and fix it. That's essentially it. He had to come back and fix it. I'm trying to remember this.
Wasn't it Ryan Johnson did the second one or something?
Yeah, something like
Was
that.
it Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, right. I'm trying to remember the Force Awakens. No, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
That was the first
No,
one. Was it?
director was J.J. Abrams for that as well. And they had a director for like the second one, and he had to come back.
Yeah, Ryan Stone or something maybe.
Ryan Johnson. Ryan,
Johnson.
R-I-A-N. Ryan Johnson, yeah.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson.
Like his name is.
Johnson and Friends.
Yeah.
That was a
Apparently
good
he they gave him, from what I remember, they gave him the outline and said, all right, it goes this, but then you can kind of do what you want, kind of thing. And he took it as in, yeah, but and then apparently he took it as in, oh, okay, so it's like a guideline. So that means I don't have to follow any of it and just fucking, shit on
And
it,
nothing
shit
fits in
all
at
over
all. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
It kills
some
the
directors
characters.
do that, and it's still a good movie.
Like I
that
said,
just
well, that's exactly it. Mark
That
Hamill
was the
hated the whole
interpretation
concept.
by some of the Star Wars fans.
Mark Hamill hated it to a T, but it was his paycheck. Like it was the character. He had no say
He
realistically.
didn't
Even though
have to do it though.
Oh no, he didn't have to do it, but it was kind of like implied.
He
Like
could have
with
just said
anything.
nope, and the movie wouldn't have been made.
well, it's like I guess
bet you.
contractual. He had to contractually. I think he had to do it. By
Yeah.
obligations. After he signed the contract, he had
looked so
to.
pissed off in the whole. Well, from what I've seen of it, he just.
Oh, he hated. Well, if you look at a lot of things, he disliked the movie, and I think that's why you can see it because he's like, why is this happening?
Apparently.
But because you got a contract, you have to say yes. If you sign that contract, you can be sued a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
And all this shit can happen because you signed the contract, and if you break the contract,
Yeah.
You just go,
All right,
oh, well, just deal with it.
Here's a quote that was on the trivia on IMBD.
Yep.
For the Last Jedi. This is Mark Hamill telling the director Ryan Johnson, after reading the script of the film, Mark Hamill told writer-director Ryan Johnson, "I pretty much fundamentally disagree with every choice you've made for the character, Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah.
Now, after having said that, I've gotten off my chest, and my job now is to take what you've created and do my best to realize your vision. Despite the ultimate diverse response among audiences and critics alike following the film's release, Hamill later said in a statement that he had maintained respect for Johnson as well as episode blah blah blah, Daisy Drew, the whole cast, but essentially he told the director, he just said he disagreed with everything, his choices for the whole character.
That should be a red flag to write the fucker again.
Oh yeah, exactly. If you
Listen
hear
to one of your
an
original
actor,
like the
original,
original-
yeah, exactly.
That's a problem though. He was writer director, so he probably just thought, "Oh, yeah, this sounds good. Hey, this sounds good."
Yeah. He's tooting his own horn. Essentially, he's just
As in Army of the Dead, Snyder, writer director, that fucking stunk too.
Yeah, I haven't really watched that yet.
I know, it wasn't too bad.
I hyped it up. It looked great. Like
It
the
had a lot of
trailer looked
hype.
fantastic.
It's
The
got
10
a lot
minutes.
of holes in it. A lot
Yeah.
of like, what the fuck?
But the trailer for the prequel for that just got released as well. Thieves
Oh, the
of the Dead.
prequel, yeah,
So it's
that'd be better than the actual movie. I bet.
well,
you.
hopefully, yeah,
Movie was
hopefully.
good.
But when
It's a
an
fun
actor who
film.
plays the character, like Dale was saying, turns around to the director, the writer director, and says, essentially, you're fucking up the entire character. Which is, if you're doing that for one character, imagine what you're doing it for all the rest. You'd think that someone would turn around and say, "This guy's fucking it up."
I think you
just
say the choice
someone
had to
would
say
step in.
no.
Mm.
Like, just say like with Army of the Dead, no one would have told Snyder no. They would have said, "Oh yeah, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing."
Yeah.
And look what fucking happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
that's a different story.
Yeah.
Like I kind of
So-
enjoyed it to a sense. It wasn't the best movie, but it was a fun
Yeah,
movie.
if you pay attention to it, it's shit. You
Yeah,
just watch
as a
it and
Star
go,
Wars
"Oh, yeah."
fan,
It's just a fun
like
movie.
you know me, I'm shaven Wookie. I'm of course a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this movie and say this is absolute dog shit and
Oh,
it
yeah.
contradicts everything. And for the sake of it, like I've watched a lot of movies to understand breakups of like how this, the fundamental aspects of it. Watching a movie and saying you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this. Like you understand, you respect someone going, oh well, they can make this
Yeah, but
cinematic,
if it
universe.
doesn't flow as in like Mark Hamill saying no. I mean,
Yeah.
don't continue forward with that fucking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like-
It's you need like people, goes to show people need other people to just come in,
Yeah.
step up, slap him in the face, and say, "What the fuck are you
Well,
doing?"
that's the thing too. The worst part was, I'll say, with those movies is they basically looked at the rest of the franchise, looked at the books and stuff. Go, we like this little piece, we like this little piece, we like this
Yeah.
piece. We kind of like this piece, but we want to flip that on its head. We like that, we like that, we like that, and that's like across of like what 50 books or something like that. And they got all these little different parts, and let's go, let's put these all in the 3 films and go with that. And you see all those little moments from books, you see all those little key moments, but it's done so wrong. But then you look at the series, like the Mandalorian and stuff, and they've gone, okay, we like this character style. Okay, let's do this, and they've done it so well. Like they've done it really well. How they did it, because okay, we're gonna get this one part. We're gonna use this for this, kind of backstory section.
It's more linear. There's nothing really
It's
much
not just like
to
they're
it.
not
Like,
grabbing all the different things.
they
and
got to do
mixing it up.
specific things.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the problem with that Star Wars of that director was basically they told him, holds barred, you can do whatever you want. But the problem with that is you tell anyone saying, "Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want." Next minute, it's going to be another episode of The Simpsons where Homer creates another fucking piece of shit car.
Yeah.
That's essentially it. That's like that episode of where Homer creates a shit car. You give someone like unlimited amount of like, "Oh, you can do whatever you want." Just from previous experience of in the past, you should never fucking say that.
Within reason.
Within reason, you still have to have someone keeping an eye on it. Not the fact that you don't trust the person. It's just the fact that you just got to make sure that person doesn't go off the rails.
It's like the sense.
Was Luke a main character in the second one?
Side character.
Semi like main character. That's what
And then he was still written like that. Like
he was like the Obi-Wan character of the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like the Obi-Wan, and that's
so he had fuck all to do with it, and he still was written bad.
Well, put it this way, they had the milk scene in that one.
What the fuck's the blue milk?
The blue milk scene is where he starts milking some random alien character,
if you remember,
and drinks its blue milk from it. I don't know. It's a fucking stupid scene.
Okay, so if you remember the original movies, original movies when Luke was young and he was with his aunt and uncle, and they're around the time they had blue milk, then they're drinking blue milk. There was no disclaimer of where the blue milk came from. There was just blue milk, and they were all drinking blue milk. There was no disclaimer of what it was. It was just blue milk. It just existed. So basically, what they've done now in this later trilogy, have gone, hey, let's actually just explain where the blue milk comes from. And
I mean,
Luke gets from
there's
the
a way to do that though. You don't just do what you said, like just drink udder, was he or?
Yeah, he drinks it straight from the fucking udder. Like,
I mean, you can do it in a better way then.
And you can see it kind of looks like it's such an uncomfortable scene even for Mark Hamill. You can see it's just so ball of awkward. Like he kind of has fun with it, but at the same time you can see at the same time it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like you can see the sense of it, just like seriously.
I want to see what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, the blue milk.
You just Google blue milk scene. Just watch what you've come out.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Star Wars blue milk scene.
If it instantly goes from blue milk to blue waffle, just don't watch it.
Evade. I had that. I had that. There was
don't Google blue waffle.
There was something I was trying to look up
Please, people, don't Google blue waffle.
I'll tell you now. There was something like that happened the other day. I was trying to look up reference photos because I was doing stuff for commission stuff for a stream layout, and I was trying to find things. I was trying to keep the keywords very PG still. And just trying to search for reference photos, and even though I was keeping it the most PG, I can't remember what words it was still keeping it very PG. Typed into Google, and straight up just came up with just porn. I was just like, oh god, how? I'm trying to keep this so PC, PG. I'm trying to find search words to get reference photos. And it's just porn. I'm just like, what the fuck? How? If the kids out this, it's just gonna be fucking porn everywhere.
I'm wondering if you can be just type in a word and then just afterwards put in just a bracket, it's not porn, and it'd be come up with a search of everything, but it's not the porn issue.
Oh, I reckon because you got the keyword porn in there, even if you had not porn would still come up because porn in there.
The Google search word uses the keywords, and it searches for the first one.
Then it's you need porn. Here's some porn. You want porn?
Yeah, here's some porn. Everything has porn.
Oh, so you went.
Why is the milk green?
Yeah, it's blue green.
Blue green or something like that. It's a stupid scene, and it shouldn't be in the movie at all. Can we just write off episode 2 and maybe episode 1 and episode not episode 2. I'm 7, 8, and 9. Just don't.
I'm never gonna watch them. Never.
I've watched them, and just for the sake of going, this is
I
an
mean,
absolute pile of.
you
I'm
can
gonna
watch
Back to
them.
9 hours.
I'm actually gonna watch those movies after this now. Just
No.
you know,
Yeah, they
You
are.
first
I
I
go,
know.
want
like,
because I want nightmares.
well, that's the thing that they are watchable. They are to a base degree as films. Like if you take away the most base
Yeah,
concepts,
uh,
they are
It's meant to be
watchable.
a
They are
trilogy.
somewhat like bearable films. But when you go to this concept that they are Star Wars films from a set timeline of films, and they're supposed to follow a chronological story
Yeah.
arc, then you're like, what the fuck's going on? It's just like if you had a book, and then halfway towards the end of the book, the last 3 chapters have been ripped out, and someone's grabbed 3 different books and glued in each different chapter. It's like that
And
story's not
said
going to make
this
sense.
was
Like it's
it.
like, oh, this cool chapter. This chapter sounds cool. This chapter sounds cool. This chapter sounds cool. What you're reading, but it makes no sense to the whole storyline. Like that's the big issue. Like they're
exactly.
still decent. Like they were taken from decent books, but yeah, it's just like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
they could be. You could take this concept and use them in any other film. Like you could,
Well, you know, I was
Let's just say
thinking.
they're not Star Wars movies. They could be anything. How's that?
yeah, there's that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. That's essentially it. But you know, it's. I'm not going to count that in Star Wars canon. I'm going to count Mandalorian, and that's it. Anything past that.
Well, they're looking
Just-
at retconning
just
a lot of
not
that
my-
too. They're looking at retconning the original movies still. There's still talks apparently that
Yeah,
they're
it'd be fantastic. Yeah, I heard about that as soon as they were done. There was like talks of like,
because
can we
of just the fact they stuffed up.
redo these.
So I think
Please
the
no.
series,
You know,
like,
do
retconning
like a
timeline.
special Snyder cut of of all the Star Wars.
You won't
last
beat the
3 Star
originals
Wars
though.
films.
Like they're still good.
Well,
the
it's a storyline
yeah.
though. It's a storyline though. Like you've got this chapter. Here's this chapter. Like they're chapters. They're
Yeah.
each individual chapter.
So
So,
would James L. Jones do Darth Vader again? No.
oh no, he is. He is for the new Obi-Wan series because you got Hayden Christensen coming back as
So you
Anakin
couldn't-
Vader, but he's still they're getting him to voice as Vader still. While
Yeah.
You
it's still
can't
canon.
do a whole new generation of Luke, like redo the movies and not have Mark Hamill as Luke. Like that's just stupid.
Well, they've done that in Mandalorian. They had the CG cut at this stage until we know
yeah,
what's
that
going on with
looks
that.
trash though.
That was a janky rough cut.
It looks jank. It looks bad.
Oh,
Like, you can't do a whole fucking series, a whole fucking
No, but you gotta understand, it's like a
with it.
pilot.
Yeah.
It's like a pilot. Like if they were doing a proper series with that, they would do a high-end quality. They'd properly do proper hard work, like CGI. They wouldn't just be like, oh, let's just slap this on and go with it. Like that was just a small section of like, how long was that? That was like not even like 30 seconds. You saw his face, like maybe a minute. You saw his face for, so it's understandable. Like that's
Yeah,
not
but-
the whole episode.
It's
Like,
looking fake, like when you bring back that old dude.
oh, he looked really good. They did
Review.
pretty good with him, and same as
He looked
bringing,
so animated though.
It depends on what you
us-
watch him on.
Yeah. Well, going back to Star Wars for a second. Recently it was announced. So you guys have seen Mandalorian, right?
Hmm.
Nope.
I have.
Okay. Well,
I
the
hate
last episode of season 2. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, spoilers. Don't really care. Just go see it.
Show.
So Mark Hamill pops up, the younger version of Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
So, but when they showed it off, they did like a, kind of a weird deep fake. You could just
That's
look
what
at
they're
it
talking
and
about, yeah.
tell that it was really fake. Like it was just, very sharply, quickly photoshopped on.
Hmm.
The eyes were so dead. He just looked like
Well, he
Yeah,
doesn't blink at
exactly.
all. You watch that scene, I watched the scene. He does not blink at all.
no.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no blink, and that's what throws it off. Is if he blinked, it would have been it would have made it look a bit more ease. But because that whole sequence, he just stares there, does not blink a single word while he's
The
standing there.
eyes aren't even moist. Like they're
No.
just flat. Like his
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
face. It was like, hmm.
So going into that, LucasArts, the company of Lucas, recently found there's a YouTuber called Shamook, and he's been known for doing a lot of deep fakes on YouTube. So he redid a deep fake of the Star Wars scene out of Mandalorian, the Luke Skywalker scene, and his version was way better. Looks more realistic, more natural.
Corridor Crew. They did the same thing and made it way better.
Yeah, exactly.
In
So
less time.
because of that, they actually hired him to be with LucasArts. So because of his deep fakes and making it look much more realistic, more natural from that. So that's actually a good thing. So next time, hopefully, we see like a
As my
younger
point,
Luke
yeah.
Skywalker.
That's my point. I was saying,
they
they could do.
we can actually it'll look much more natural.
Mm.
How are
Just a
they
little
how are they
bit.
gonna get like fight scenes, like full
Well,
body walking and
well,
take that? Stupid.
it's not that hard to do because it depends on how you film the shots. Because you'll mostly spend most of your time doing side shots, back shots, so you're not always seeing his face walking. Fight scenes, they're that quick. You would have a stunt double step in, so you're not going to see the face
If
per
they're right in
se.
the middle and you see their faces though, like they're usually always there.
It's depending on how they'll film it, and that's the thing
I
too.
just hope
You
they
do a
don't.
lot of filming to hide it.
It won't beat the originals though.
Oh, you
Yeah.
It's
can't, but
still
it's
well
it's one
done.
of those things. But that's
Well,
the
yeah,
thing.
It's a cash grab
You
thing.
can keep that's that you can keep talking about the originals, the originals. You still got to continue on a story. You can't just be like, okay, we're done and dusted with that. You still there is the cash grab sense, but
They can drop
you
Star
still.
Wars easy.
But if they drop Star Wars and stop doing it, it's going to enter the
Oh, George
public
Lucas,
domain.
he's pissed at the new ones. Like he's like,
Well,
what have they done?
but if they stop
yeah,
doing
yeah,
productions, it enters public domain, and then anyone can do anything with Star Wars. And that's what
yeah.
everyone always wants to do. Is you don't want to drop copyright, you don't want to drop ownership, you don't want to fall in public
That's
domain,
why
you don't want any of
Lucas
that.
should have never have sold it. He just kept it, and it would have been fine. Wouldn't have got them crappy fucking third
Well,
act.
he wanted more for the franchise, and he's already seen it didn't
He
end up
gave to the
working
wrong
well.
people.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things.
Well, they had the
But
highest
yeah,
money.
so because the technology of deepfake has gone,
Advanced so well, and that's
advanced
related
so
again. That was
well.
related again with the I think it was last episode 2, and we talked about Sweet Anita with the whole deepfake thing as well.
Yeah,
It's throwback to that as well. Like the deepfakes these days are immensely advanced nowadays. Like they can do full on like more natural video. That's the other thing too. Is a lot of deepfakes were photos, and it was just a typical thing. But video is now advanced that far. Going back to again with you mentioning
Like that
Corridor
fucking
Crew.
wombo thing I had, making the mouth move, the eyes
Well,
move.
Yeah.
there's that too.
Well,
But like you
The
mentioned
face
Corridor
swap
Crew.
app that you can get on your phone is, pretty impressive on its own. And it doesn't take that long for, to impose your face onto any other character of from movies, TV, and so on and so
Well,
forth.
I was like going back to say like movement and stuff. I was gonna say thinking about that. And you remember seeing look at Corridor Crew when they did like the Keanu Reeves face deep fake and the Tom Cruise deep
Oh,
fake
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They had the face and they did movements, and it's a bit janky to a degree. But if you worked high budget and kept working on it, you could get a more natural face because a lot of it does. The more scans you do, the more advanced it gets. So like
Yeah.
a lot of it too, what did help the work, I say, for Corridor Crew was, and much the same with that other guy you mentioned, was because it was already deep faked. They did a deep fake to a deep fake, which helped render it up more natural. And it didn't help too when they put the face on the guy who was standing in for Mark Hamill. The facial, like you look at the guy's actual face, he looks nothing like Mark Hamill, which
Yeah.
can throw it off. When you look at like Corridor Crew, they got guys that kind of not just sound like them, they almost looked like.
Yeah, they
double,
got
except
for the Tom Cruise one, they got a Tom Cruise impersonator.
Yeah, that
and
put
he
me
looked
way
pretty
off. I was
close.
like, that's not Tom Cruise. That
No,
looks
but
weird.
he looks
Yeah,
like
I
it.
know,
In
it looks like
face.
It's like if you ordered Tom Cruise off Wish.
Wish.
Wish, yeah, it's like,
But that's the thing. Like, it definitely takes the fact that if you got someone that looks more like them, the deepfake will work better. Like, that's the thing too. So, I mean, deepfake technology is just going to advance more and more. There's actually a video I saw online. Actually, is a good one. There's actually this dude. Scanned in like a model of the sense, and you can kind of see the jankiness around the lips and stuff. But it's this white dude just sitting there, and he's imposed this whole body deepfake of Morgan Freeman, and he does an impersonation of Morgan Freeman. It looks like Morgan Freeman sitting there talking. He moves and stuff, and it talks, and it's just the lips are a little bit janky when it clips a little bit, but it's to a T. The animation works so well, like because it's a deepfake and he moves and does everything, and he just does the impression voice, and you could clearly think this was a Morgan Freeman advertisement. Like that's how scary this technology is getting. That anyone's likeness can be scanned and uploaded.
yeah,
and
it'll
you
be
got the
illegal
voice.
eventually too. Because
Well, that's what they're trying to fight
real, and
for.
then
The
I hope it
talk
does
about,
because some people get ripped. They get ripped
Mm.
off by it. Like,
Well, I think that's what the stab was as well. With I think Space Jam was kind of making that little stab at that because they made a reference in Space Jam at the start. But they're like, we can scan your likeness. You don't have to do anything. We can scan your likeness, and then we can put you in any movie we want, kind of thing. Like
Yep.
that's kind of a stab at it, meta stab.
Yeah.
That's where we're going technically, and that's why actors now and actresses
which is bad because
paying for their licenses. Like we could see down the track if there's no licensing held for people's rights and actors and actresses, we could see movies down the track in the future where Robin Williams is coming back from the dead and he's starring in
Well-
films. Like that's the scary thing. Like That could happen.
Robin Williams knew about
That
using his
rights and stuff.
likeness
Yeah,
in movies,
exactly.
his rights. So he made it so that no one could use his likeness, and that for the next 40 or 50 years.
Exactly. He
So,
prepared, and that's
which is fantastic. But yeah, as soon as it becomes available, they will jump on it. Most likely.
And it's scary. It's scary. Like when we, like in our lifetime, we may see this because of how far deep fake technology has come. Like, how's it not going to stop people from impersonating people to scam people? Like, deepfake technology
shouldn't be
become
legal, but
easy accessible. Like, where's the fact like how easy it can be for some people to just access this stuff, and if it does get more and more accessible because technology advances, that people can just impersonate people and scam people. Like impose
I
it with
need the
people,
right
like,
voice as well, though.
well, sometimes if people don't know what
Just
someone
for
sounds like, but
things.
there's the like for ID, someone
Yeah.
doesn't know. Like if we're in a digital world of concept, you're like, oh, where's your license? Fake driver's license, but it looks real, and it's just like, oh, it looks like you, but you've run a program. How are they gonna know? Like this is the way we're getting. Like it's scary, sci-fi shit we've seen in movies that we're getting closer and closer to. Like people can just start.
That's all
stealing
like another
people's...
10 or so years off, but
It's that 10 years. It's not far at the same time. If you think if it is 10 years, like it's scary.
Probably, it could be more, but
well, we don't know, but like that's the scary part. It's only the fact more if the fact if it's like James Bond style deepfakes are to a T, like masks and outfits. That's the scary part. But it's like you're a bit short. You're a bit short for a stormtrooper.
yeah. Eventually they'll just make an entire movie just to prove a point.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Make it entirely deepfake and just and
then plot twist at the end.
Your mates. Yeah.
It's like it'll be a movie starring Hugh
Jackman
Jackman and
that's been done already.
Elijah
It was a
Woods
round-table discussion with like Tom
Yeah.
Cruise, Brad Pitt. I'm like,
this is you can tell. Well, you can tell
weird.
It was like Robert Downey Jr. was like super fat.
Yeah.
But like imagine seeing that like then that's then because you got to get the right actors and actresses.
Yeah.
But imagine I wouldn't be surprised we may
because-
see that down the track as a social experiment. We may actually get that as a social experiment because people love doing that shit. Where someone like I'll say it now, where someone will do a film, say it's labeled with like Hugh Jackman, Elijah Woods, Daniel Radcliffe,
just
all these random actors,
proper film,
and you think, oh, these actors would be interesting to see all these actors together in this one film, and then at the end it's like plot twist that actually wasn't them, like it was other actors stepped in and they're deep faked, like they'll be like, what the fuck, and I wouldn't be surprised we'll see something like that, and we wouldn't even know,
Yeah, like I said, it'd be they'll one day they'll do a movie entirely deep faked. They'll just bring in random people and they'll just stuck famous actors onto their faces, and you wouldn't even know. It might be like they'll release it and then bam, next minute they'll just turn around and say,
which can be very illegal, really.
Well, yeah, they could get sued, but if it's one of those things. If you release it for free and there's no profit made from it, and you've done it for
then why'd you make
satire or it's the fact, it's the prove it point that you can do it, and it would be like a terrific social experiment. It's that fact.
Yeah, to make it that high quality, you need some revenue back from it. So,
well,
here and there, some people like to do projects just to do projects because they got the money or they just the time or who knows.
Yeah, all the time. Care. Like if you got a bunch of friends who'd
you
be
need
like,
voices.
Let's do this. Yeah,
to go with them.
Like people have been doing it already, grabbing existing content and just swapping the faces around. Like for example, that YouTuber Shamook, like he went into the Han Solo movie. And he replaced the character's face with like a younger version of Han Solo,
like actual Harrison Ford.
Yeah, action Harrison Ford, but like de-aged him and did it like what he should have looked like in the movie, not like this actor that kind of looks like him. So they by doing stuff like that, they've already done it to some extent.
And it's all experimenting and just improving on it. And because we've already started, it's just going to keep going.
Yeah. But it would be funny if someone released like a big budget film, and as Dead said, and release it, and we wouldn't even know.
It's got fucking Johnny Depp, Schwarzenegger, Brad Pitt, all in one fucking movie.
Yeah. Just actually,
it's called The Unbelievable.
Yeah. Or do like the next Ocean's 11 movie and just
I actually found out that Expendables 4 coming.
It's coming back again. They're actually doing it.
Yeah, there's Expendables 4.
Oh.
I was like, damn, they're
getting older now.
Getting there. Didn't he? I thought he broke his leg earlier. Did you see his fucking weightlifting thing?
No.
He those big ass fucking like 50-pound weights. He was trying to lift them up from the ground on his knees coming up.
Yeah.
And his leg just buckled and
Oh. Yeah,
It
yeah,
could
yeah.
have been fake, but like I don't know, but
No,
yeah.
you mean that? Wait, who are we talking about? Colin McGregor?
No,
No,
Stallone when he's lifting those
Stallone.
fucking weights and he's like coming
Oh,
up
okay.
slowly. He's like,
I, I'm
ah,
I'm
snap.
thinking of the recent fight where Colin McGregor like snaps his leg. You see
That's,
that?
that's karma though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
But
exactly it.
yeah,
You do not threaten another dude's wife like that, like what he did.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
hope she dies or something. Like,
Yeah, but it
what?
was funny where it was like Joe Rogan just comes straight in, and he's on the guy's on the floor, like obviously he's in pain because his leg just got snapped, and Joe Rogan's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Just like the microphone, just interviewing
That's
him.
his job though.
I know it's his job, and it's hilarious that he's just like, you know, shouldn't you wait
He
till
was
he goes
trying
to the
to.
hospital?
He was trying not to get a loss though. He's just like, it's a doctor stoppage. Doctor stoppage. He's like, nope.
Yeah. Just jump
Like,
straight in. There was a few memes about that though. It was funny because
there
you
was
know
one where he had like leaning on a crutch or something. I was like, oof.
yeah. Well, like, no, I meant the meme where it's like Joe Rogan comes in, tries to get an
Oh.
interview, like after some kind of serious disaster. You know, just
Still,
bad memes.
McGregor's a dick.
Oh yeah. He's big show, big talk, like but, you know. But aren't they like a lot of them like that? It's kind
No,
of
but
like
no,
comes with
he's
the
talking
territory.
about threatening someone's wife. I'm like, you don't do that.
He's probably slept with a couple of guys' wives. Who knows? I don't really pay attention to someone who likes to mouth off like that.
Nah.
It's yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of like
I
What
think
is
I.
he?
you
He's
kind of
fucking
you
Irish,
kind
so
of
it
want
makes
to bet on
sense.
the exactly. I wish I put money on the other guy to win. That's I'll put it that way.
Just imagine the people who did that. It's like free win.
Oh yeah, free win instantly. It's just like as soon as you see that leg snap, you're just like, yep, just looking for that money.
That's
Oh,
just how random it. Like that's never happened, has it? In a like
probably
what?
something like that. Well, I
Like what
remember
he
when
did though, like just kicking someone and then he broke
hey,
his. Ooh, he cracked his ankle just kicking someone.
hey, come on. There's been worse things that happened during fights, or like
Yeah,
remember when I've kind of was it Tyson and old mate like bit the ear off, bit
yeah.
old mate's ear off. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
was
Yeah.
a huge
That's,
thing, and
that's not a snapped ankle though.
it's not a snapped ankle, but that was like a big thing happening in a fight. Like you just never
And
see
Ronda
that in a
Rousey got
fight.
fucked up.
Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey, she got majorly fucked up, but she's more of a movie star than a fighter anyway these
Yeah,
days.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now,
because you can't fight anymore, I don't think, unless you're going shit.
yeah. Well,
I
her background, like she was always doing fighting ever since she was a kid. Like
Yeah, but like now she can't or something. Like she's not fighting at all, really.
Well, after a couple of years, wouldn't you want to kind of retire and kind of go, well, I keep fucking up my knees. Wouldn't it be better if I kind of just start making the same amount of money, but just like walk around and go, say a couple of lines, be like done?
Yeah, well.
It's like what's her name?
She's not the best actor though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, Gina Carraro, like she was pretty good, but shame that she got taken out of Mandalorian.
I
She
think
was
she
an
may be
ex-fighter.
coming back. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know if she's coming back. It would be good if she came back, but there's too much slack. And
I don't need her, really.
well, she's one of those like characters, recurring characters. So
Hmm.
and she's like good friends with Mando, and you kind of it seems
So
sus
she
kind
can
of
just
to
go
write her
away.
out. Well, if they just conveniently killed
Here
her
and there.
off,
Yeah.
if they killed her off in some kind of way, it'd kind of be
Hey.
all right.
Hmm.
Mm.
Or just say she's on a mission somewhere.
Yeah, and then kill her off then. But by taking out that character, it gives you a chance to bring in other like older characters as well. Like
Hmm.
maybe doing a live action Rex, if you're a big fan of Star Wars.
I don't know who Rex is.
Yeah, well, shout out to anyone who knows who Rex is. Put in the comments. But yeah, if you know Rex from Star Wars, or like any of the
I'm more
Bad
Star Trek.
Batch, Star Trek. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I know Star Trek. Yeah. Picard and just old school.
That's it.
No.
Is the other-
Picard. I know Spock. Picard. Was that like
Scotty?
Captain Kirk, Janeway from Voyager. I enjoyed Voyager as well. That was a good series.
So I was going to come back to you talking about that. Stallone, was he on his knees and he had the two weights in his hands and he's lifting up? So there's a lot of talks actually looking back over. There's a lot of talks going on that they're actually fake
These
weights.
weights are plastic. Yeah.
And you actually look at him lifting them, and it's kind of suspicious
He's
that
like,
they are because you see the tension, but there's no it's not. You look at his arms and the tension in his arms and the grip. The tension is more of not tension of
there,
lifting
but his
something.
weights are still straight, not like hanging down.
Well, they're not right.
Not
They flap
heavy.
a few times. They flap. They flap a few times when you watch it. They flap in the breeze, they flap when he moves and grabs
but
them.
the thing is,
They don't
I
flap.
think he did it for
Lols.
something. I don't
But
know.
he did this whole thing.
Did you
and
see
it's
his
just
knee though when he fucking
For the
buckled it?
lols.
You see, he's got the strain in his face. Put this whole strain in his face, but you see him. His muscles clench. But it looks more like the muscle clench when you force a muscle clench, not when you're straining to lift. There's a difference between you forcing to clench when you squeeze yourself to tense your muscles, and the sense of when you're lifting something and you're straining. There's a
but
difference.
it looks so.
It just looks
it
so
looks so
funny.
intense, doesn't it? Like.
Oh, he's causing. So he had so much attention to. He's got his back brace on. I was looking at what you were talking about, and it's just like.
Yeah, but
what the
his
fuck?
fucking leg I was talking about, it just goes
He stands weird. He
sideways,
stands weird. Why are you
Oh.
doing that? I guess to make it dramatized, it feels like they're heavy.
I
But
don't know.
if he's in shape the way he is, I reckon he could lift those normally anyway,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah,
but-
they're not that big. I mean, I couldn't do it, but
They're like 25
maybe
kilos
only
each weight.
one.
I think it worked out to 25 kilos each. I think it works out to.
hey, that's nothing to
So-
him. It's just the way his leg snaps down. I was like, and then it cuts
it's
off.
unnecessary. He's making it dramatized that they're so much more heavier than what they are. I feel like him as a person who he is with being a bodybuilder, I feel like he could have already lifted those normally without that strain. I feel like he could have lifted those.
he was on his knees. And
I feel
why
like
on
he
his
could have done
knees?
that. I feel like he's dramatizing
It
that
might
he's
be
not as
set
strong.
up. Who knows?
Yeah.
It might be fake or.
But at the same time, I imagine you get older,
it's
you
just
can't
weird.
get your muscle deterioration at the same
I mean,
time.
he is
but,
nearly 80, so
it's
Well,
questionable.
as soon as you hit after 40,
60s and
your muscle starts to deteriorate considerably.
not starting. He's still fucking jacked.
Well, look at The Rock. The Rock as well.
Yeah. He's in his 40s.
Nah, they're using stem cells.
Rock is fucking old as.
Stem
as well.
cells. Stem cells for days.
No, I reckon the
inject
Rock
stem
is just
cells.
clean. Really, he
So,
just worked
stem
out a
cells
lot.
is not a drug. It's they still inject it in. It's like
Yeah, The Rock is
you know,
50 next year.
fresh cells been
I
injected.
mean, he just works out of.
That's what I'm saying.
he's
He has
fucking-
problems though
Have
too.
you seen his Black Adam figure?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that looks fantastic.
The most jacked he's been ever.
but
Jesus.
he's 50 next year, and look how tanked he is. It's like Jesus Christ.
Well, he constantly working out every fucking day.
But
though, so it
he
makes
has
sense.
said times though too the amount of times he has to go through massages and stuff like that because he's back pains and certain pains and stuff he's had and this
Well,
is
he's
from
still
damage
mortal
early on.
us. He took his knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain.
That's exactly it, but it's just so crazy to see how jacked he is at the same
It's
time,
just-
and especially for that.
I've seen his workout videos. He wears these fucking 100-kilo fucking chains around his neck, and
It's
like,
genetically modified.
he's
He's-
a perfect fucking specimen.
yeah.
Really.
Created from German scientists back in
But
1950.
yet again, when you see
It's
what's
crazy.
his first movie, Scorpion King, and Walking Tall, that
He's-
dude was
yeah.
normal size.
He was barely anything
then
back
he's
Oh,
then.
he was still pretty jacked in those movies.
Oh yeah, but nowadays
he,
he's
he
super
worked
chiseled.
out, but he wasn't majorly working out every fucking day like he is now.
Yeah.
He's just insane.
I've seen his meals too. I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, he eats a lot.
Well, he has to
Oh, yeah,
keep up with
maintain
the.
energy.
Yeah.
and-
Also, he drinks a lot of tequila. So how does he?
Yeah.
He's always got tequila, always in his fucking hand or a glass or.
yeah.
He's
Is
crazy.
does he own a tequila company? That might explain.
Oh,
it.
he has some alcohol company. I know he's
I
got
mean,
some
he'd
alcohol
drink
brand.
it. Is he an
Tequila's part of
alcoholic
the
as
burn.
well on the side?
Most
Who knows? He's
Works through the
probably-
pain.
Because there was during lockdown, there was 2 straight weeks every day a fucking video of him making fucking drinks and then just.
Well, the Americans are like that. They go through how many tequilas they make. They have their martinis and stuff. They're always like, what is it with Americans making their martini shaking and doing their tequila? What the fuck are they doing? They're always making their.
Hey,
spritzes.
that's making a proper cocktail drink,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
cocktail.
that's
It's
what
not-
he's doing. He's putting orange juice, fucking tequila, a bit of
Yeah,
lemon.
exactly. He
And
might
then
be making a tequila sunrise, which is, it's if he's shaking it, it's like better than sometimes having it stirred because you get the little chips of ice,
Yeah.
which makes a hell of a lot difference when you
Yeah,
sip
because
it.
you put in big ice cubes, so he shook it to break it up. So
Yeah, exactly. So and it breaks it up a lot easier. So it's like the whole James Bond shaken or stirred kind of thing. It is like there is a scientific fact for having it shaken. It does break up the ice a lot more and actually puts it through the drink and it actually cools down a lot considerably as well. And there is a taste difference, but that's just the alcoholic in me talking. Just
because I need to get some of that blackened though, because I've been thinking about it since. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
that second
blackened.
bottle's already finished. It's gone. I need to order another one too, but they've upped the price.
I want that fucking Iowa one, that fucking Slipknot one. Oh,
They've released some more alcohols.
Have they?
Yeah. There's some more on groglords.com. Just to FYI, if you want a bottle of blackened whiskey, Metallica. Oh, okay.
We should get the whole band on there and just like promote their fucking whiskey with us. Just like drink blackened, then just put in a fucking
Drink
clip of them.
blackened.
Drink blackened. Apparently, it's a very good drop though. So I mean, as you've had it,
Yeah,
is
it
it
really
is it
nice.
better than Jack though? Is it or is that the
Yes.
same? Oh, so it is.
It's smooth. It's real smooth.
Ooh.
It just can't.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's real smooth. Yeah, real smooth. You just
What are you
can't.
drinking? There? Is that tequila?
It
got
looks
a-
like tequila, like a mini
Yeah, it
bottle.
looks like one. Yeah. Got
Or
the what is it? Beam?
what do you drink? No. That's whiskey
Yeah, but
or bourbon.
it looks like piss, like my damn vodka. Vodka, my fucking
Yeah,
tequila I had.
Don't get your bottles. Oh, Buckeye
rum.
rum. Rum. It was like the other choice.
It's got like a tequila label, like a yellowy.
Oh man, I just tried going to the Grog Lord's website and it's under construction. They're doing updates for it.
Oh, so tomorrow.
They'll be on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, I'm keen to get some blackened whiskey. Pick up and just think talking about it. Oh, I had a cider recently, and I've discovered I don't get hangovers anymore.
Mm.
I'm fucking awesome.
What did you just drink water? That's the
Pardon?
most common thing. Just drink water.
No, I didn't drink anything. I drank cider and went to bed.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was a bit smashed.
Talking about drinking and partying, but on the bad side of it. Oh, you're right there, Jim. I think you've had a bit too many drinks already.
He get attacked by what's going on? What happened? He get attacked.
I think I should stop drinking because you've been drinking, obviously, for the both of us.
I've been had a drink since 2 days ago.
You're just inhaling it now. Inhaling it. It just.
No, I
straight
did take a
veins.
mouthful of fucking tequila, so that might be a thing.
Here,
Yeah, that might be a
Jim,
thing.
have a whiff.
But-
have a whiff.
But talk about the party
whiff.
life and all that. It's
Anyone want a whiff?
I love
yeah,
drinking rum straight. It's like just goes down.
but Dal, you wanted to talk about Blizzard.
Yes. So we've been hearing it off and off for the last. It's been actually happening for a long time, but things are finally
Years, really.
happening. It's been happening exactly. But there's been a lot of stories you hear from everyone, from ex-employees that have left the company. Everyone said that they're bad, whether it's to do with pay or overworked hours or harassment, any kind of things. But it's finally got to the breaking point where Activision and Blizzard are under fire now from all the staff finally deciding to do a walkout, apparently, and just being done with it. They're sick and tired of everything that's going on. They finally, I guess, hit their breaking point, and they've all rallied together, which takes, why has it taken so long? But I guess because it's been happening more and more.
Because someone
frequently.
finally spoke out,
Yeah.
I guess, and wasn't it? And then
Well, everyone's been
shit
speaking
went
out
from
about it. They
there.
finally stepped all up now. They've all stepped up and stepped aside and said, hey, stop supporting Activision and Blizzard, stop playing their games, stop buying their games, stop spending money on their games, and, just give up on them. Like, I thought, I was like, well, this is
People buy COD this year, so
it hasn't stopped realistically. No one's stopped realistically. You still got the kids out there, which is the main thing they get their money from. Is the kids out there still playing these games? Kids don't care about these situations. Kids don't. They don't.
still buy the some
they-
games.
don't
They
care.
don't understand.
It's the adults realistically like us that understand the situation and go, okay.
It's not really
this is-
Activision. It's more Blizzard people.
It's all the
before,
same.
wasn't it?
But
It's all
but
the
as soon
same.
as soon as the rest of the gamers do understand, truly the gamers of these games do understand,
It's just the younger
like,
generations.
younger generation. Well, that's the thing. They'll hear about it. They'll be like, "Oh, what's this about?" Not until they get older, and it does actually reflect on what they're experiencing in life.
I mean, that happens in all fucking companies. What
Well,
There's
happened
a
there?
lot of these things do happen, yes.
Yeah, they do happen.
Not to
but
that extent. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, the biggest thing
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was primarily what pushed everyone over the board now is a lot of the sexual harassment allegations and
Yeah.
stuff. There's a lot of it coming out now from, I guess, their business owners and stuff, and it's just like, what the
Pretty
fuck?
much from all the dudes because
yeah, the senior developers and that, and like what was it? One of the lead developers or something like that for Blizzard, for World of
probably
Warcraft.
they just walk around the room and just do whatever the fuck they want
Yeah.
to
Well,
anyone.
there was the story of the Bill Cosby room. If I'm getting this right, there was 1 year at BlizzCon. Was that apparently they had a special room? They called it the Cosby Suite, and basically it was they've got a photo of a bunch of developers, and they've got of like them holding up a picture frame of Bill Cosby. And this was back in like 2013, and I don't know off the top of my head if this was when Bill Cosby was first being said about his antics of antics. I meant like his
yes, the proof,
stories of him drugging and sexual harassing women as well. I don't know if they've linked it to that. Apparently, the story goes was the reason why they called the room because they talked about the ugly sweaters that Bill Cosby used to wear. But I bloody
Were they in
doubt
sweaters
it.
themselves?
No, the photo does not show them in sweaters.
So I got the photo up here right now as well. It says the headline was, "Here's the evidence of a fired Blizzard developers Cosby Suite existed." So a fired another staff member that has been fired in the past which a lot of this has come from a lot of ex-employees are starting that have evidence from back in the time and leading up to now that are starting to bring evidence forward of all these things because I guess to a point back then they just seemed skeptical and it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Rather nonsense. But everyone's more occurring talking about it. Everyone's got more proof of different things. It's putting a bigger case against them. And yeah, there's a photo here which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys laying on a bed together with a giant framed photo of Bill Cosby and the classic sweater from the Bill Cosby show. Yeah.
Like, there was one quote I've got here. Featured a line from the Blizzard designer David Koch, who wrote, "I am gathering hot chicks for cause," which means blood. If there's another one from I can't pronounce his name properly. Fasasabi answers, "Bring 'em," to which Costa replies, "You can't marry all of them, Alex." A Fusty B responds by saying, "I can. I'm Middle Eastern." And lead designer, it's like lead designer Jesse McCree then adds, "You misspelled fuck."
Okay, so here's a big thing here. So here's an article here. As employees walk out of Activision Blizzard today, so this was posted 2 days ago, over allegations of constant sexual harassment and workplace discrimination and how poorly they felt the company responded. Report back of allegations of that a fired developer kept a hotel suite named after alleged rapist Bill Cosby. In case you're catching up with the state, the state of California sued Blizzard for gender discrimination last week. The allegations include claims specifically naming Alec Afrazibi, which I think you said, the former senior creative director. I think you said that before, wasn't it? Might have been the same guy.
Yeah, maybe the same guy. Yeah.
So this is the senior creative director of World of Warcraft.
Yes.
The suite says that on top of sexual harassing women, Fraserby had a hotel room during BlizzCon 2013, which we brought up, nicknamed the Cosby Suite, and suggested that other employees knew about it. So people knew this is a suite. But primarily what it came down to was this Fraserby guy had this suite referred to as the Bill Cosby room because, as you said, the allegations were that he would bring women to the suite to basically engage in sexual whatever it was,
seduction,
but I'm assuming it was related to the staff, the female staff, most probably. as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
not just
yeah.
any females. It was
They
related to female
also
staff.
claim that like when they were called on their bullshit, basically they all said like, oh no, we used it for meetings and marketing and
It's a
like
joke.
meetings. Yeah,
But why
yeah,
call it
and it
Bill
was
Cosby suite? It's a bit sus.
yeah, exactly. It's
Out of all
like
things to call it, like, why call it the Bill Cosby suite? Out of all things, like, oh, this is just a meeting room and things. Like, why call it the Bill Cosby suite? That seems
yeah,
so
yeah,
obscure. Like,
yeah, it's
it's
very obscure, especially when they call bullshit.
like I
Like
can
they're
understand if you
saying,
want to keep
oh,
it
it was
low
because of
key.
the sweaters, and it's
Like,
like that's total bullshit.
but like I can understand if you want to keep it low key and covered up so people won't know. But like giving it
Yeah,
a
but
name such
call
as
it
Yeah.
Bill
something
Cosby,
other than that.
like yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
call it the Fruit Tingle Friday. Like I don't know, like anything. Like why call it Bill Cosby suite? Like that's a bit sus. Like there's a red flag there. Like
Yeah,
imagine
and
writing it
who
down. Like
brings a giant photo of Bill Cosby to a convention? Seriously.
it seems like. It's so
Idiots.
sus. And like, how long has that been going for? That's the big thing too. Like, that was at 2013, but like, by the sounds of it, it must be
Oh
like a regular
yeah.
ritual for every con they did. Like, how long did this go
And
for? Like,
2013's what, 7, 8 years ago?
but
Yeah.
that's exactly it. How long ago
That's a
before then?
while.
Like, that's a
Yeah.
while ago from now. But
That'd
like,
be way longer than that.
how long has it still been going though? At the same time, like, has it still been happening? Like, that's only a report from 2013 that this, like, someone's saying this happened in 2013.
Yeah, yeah,
How do we
up
know it
till
didn't
this
happen in
point.
2014,
Yeah.
2015, 2016, 2017? Like, but what about before then? What about 2012, 2011, 2010? Like, how long has this room existed, or they refer to it as it always been referred to as the
Or
Bill Cosby
other
room?
rooms like it
Or
as well. It
exactly, like
hasn't probably always been called the Cosby Room. They might
they
have
could
called it,
change it each year, every couple of years. It could be a
Yeah,
tradition thing. They change the name, you know. It's crazy.
yeah. So
It's
we
just
don't know. And that's the thing. It's putting the gaming industry in bad light,
because a lot of these things happening
and
lately.
and pretty much putting it as in everyone in the gaming industry is just seedy
And it's
sexual
got to come out though. So
fucks. And that's kind of like it's kind of bad because it's like something like this was like a big thing in the gaming news, the highlight, there's seedy shit happening in the gaming industry. But last time I remembered something like seedy shit happening in the gaming industry was like over same thing 10 15 years
Ubisoft.
ago. What, which one was that one?
Ubisoft had the same issue.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft as well, but then there was Gamergate as well. That was like the big one that I remember a long time ago, which was like, where a game developer, was using sexual, advancements, like
Oh,
pretty much, going, oh fuck
Happens
you
everywhere though,
for,
not just fucking.
I'll say
for a good review.
here's another article here. I'll read it out. So he recently stepped down in June of 2020.
Hmm.
Where was the one we're reading from again?
So
So
he
it
was
was
still there all that time.
there's a lot of stuff that the company ran. They've been following investigating for the last 2 years. They've been investigating on this, and it's finally happened now at the snap point where they've gotten to a point where it's just like, this is enough evidence. Like, what are you doing? You haven't rectified the problem, I guess. And it's
Yeah.
kind of come to the point. And apparently, the investigation, they're calling the whole place as a frat boy workplace culture. So they mentioned the guy again. The court documents, here's the line here. The court documents devote an entire paragraph of a Phraseby detailing a particular instance at BlizzCon where he allegedly got drunk and began hitting on female employees, telling them he wanted to marry them, attempt to kiss them, and put his arms around them. So he was, like we say, he was specifically going out of his way as being the director, the creative director of the company, like being someone hired, moving his power around, going, well, I'm your boss, basically.
In other
You
words,
know,
they can't say anything because he's in charge. Yeah.
and
Well,
the worst,
everyone knows.
and the other problem is too is Blizzard executives knew about Frisbee's behavior, including Blizzard president Jay Allen Bracker, but took no effective
Wow.
remedial measures. So he just let it happen. So what were they into as well?
Messed
Like if
up.
you're letting these things happen, what are you
I'm probably
into?
getting
What are
something
these
from
things
it.
into?
Like probably.
And
Yeah.
these
Who
things
knows?
happen. Like
Getting
like
the-
say, there's every company where you seem to go through, these things happen. Like
Oh, not every, but like.
most companies of all kind. Like
Mm.
you'll see, it seems to be people get to the managerial levels and they seem to use their privilege of power. That's where a lot of the problem comes from. Is that there's a power trip they go on. Everyone seems to have a power trip at some point, and people just let them run with it. They seem to not blink an eye at it. They just let them do what they want to do, and it just happens. Like that we've had that instance before, where there was another instance a while back. I think we mentioned the podcast with bans and stuff like that. Like I think we mentioned it with Ninja Sex Party. There was an issue brought
Yeah,
up with that a while back with Danny Sexbang, as the character stage number was referred to. That he was in
Shit, if someone
similar
does what they do,
situation.
just call them out straight away. Like if you witness it, just fucking call them out.
Like I can understand being single, you want to like
Being a
get
president,
attraction,
like, and you
but
knew
yeah,
about it.
being a predator of the sense of being like using your basic power to that you're raining power. You're not level. You've got an unlevel playing field. You are being someone that has power. You're basically
you're
abusing
threatening someone.
situations. Like that's the wrong way
You're
of
threatening
approaching
them
things.
that like, they could lose their job if you don't do this.
Well, it's straight up sexual harassment. It's intimidation. It's set up.
It's more than that. Yeah.
It's pretty
well,
intense because
it's breaking it down. Like is like if he's basically using his power in the sense of if you don't do this, I will fire you.
That's what it sounds like.
Downright harassment,
or even if he's not doing that, it's the fact that they feel like that because it's true. It's like this is your boss. If you feel like you said no or you did the wrong thing, you'd feel like okay, I'm going to be fired. Like you have to follow. You wouldn't say no, like unless you're willing to be like dealing with this consequence that you lose your job. You know, you just got to take how it comes, and it gets like that sometimes. You hear these things like you got to take.
If they don't speak out either, that's also
it becomes hard. Yeah,
shitty for everyone else because
hard.
it keeps going.
And it's good that like everyone now as well at the same time is not just them cracking down the state of California cracking down from like the government's cracking down on them. It's the staff themselves are going, no, we've had enough. You're like they finally woken up like and gone, hey, enough is enough. Let's all rally together and say no, fuck you.
Other devs just walk out ages ago, like years ago.
Well, that's why a lot of them left. That's why we see people left. And it's always like, why would these people leave? It's because of these situations. It's these things are happening. It's why you see these big companies and you see developers all
they didn't give
leave,
specifics. Otherwise, they would have been taken down. Like, oof.
They kept things, and then maybe that's why we see a lot of these developers leaving these companies, and they're not getting the full stories because they're under investigation. There's an investigation going on. You can't disclose a lot of the situations because there's an investigation, which is police matter, governmental matter. So
they got worse than just that. There was fucking cameras in the friggin' bathrooms.
Which is again, that's dodgy. Like,
that's not right. That's messed up. Cameras.
There'd be a camera looking at the sinks and that, but like. Where was
why would you need cameras in the bathroom though in the first place? Like that's a privacy area.
Like you put them where you like they're not going to see anything.
Well, you don't need realistically. You should have cameras
for the security reasons. Like,
well, so you're supposed to not actually have cameras in any bathrooms to degree. Like at the front of the door. At the front of the door, yes, because you're seeing who's going in, who's coming out.
But
not in the toilet itself.
You see who comes out at that time.
That's exactly.
Like, why are they in the fucking thing?
Exactly. They've had specifically installed.
Shouldn't be cameras in bathrooms at all. Full stop. It's an invasion of privacy. Just by shouldn't. It's wrong. Because especially if it's one of those cameras that you can move around and pan and look, it's just an invasion right there. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just so much weird stuff. Like there's a lot of times these things happen with companies. You hear these.
I mean, that just came out recently. So what else is there that's going to come out?
Well, we've already had in the past like unfair pay, extended work hours that people shouldn't be doing. Like we've already heard of these trivial things.
To everyone, though, really.
Like basic common stuff, but then you've got the sexual harassment charges. These things are just going to add to it. Like they'll mainly focus the sexual harassment, the cameras and things, but then they'll add onto, of course, the unfair paid, the extended work hours were fully unpaid work hours. You know, bad treated stuff. Like
that's in contract. So like if you're on if you're on salary full time, you don't get the overtime pay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm on salary. I don't get overtime pay.
That means that's in their contract. If they work, it's their own fault.
Yeah. Like, well, they always put a clause in there, something like that, like a reasonable amount of overtime is expected, and that's kind of like a loophole. It's kind of a open-ended kind of paragraph, you could say, because an expected amount might be like 20 hours a week. Who knows?
I mean, they can't only get an extra day.
Well, yeah. Contract. But, it's when you start doing that consistently, it is, there's a reasonable amount, like determining what a reasonable amount is, like an extra 2 or 3 hours. We expect that in 2 or 3 hours is probably a reasonable amount. But when it starts exceeding that amount and you start doing 12-hour days each day, that's when it becomes an unreasonable amount. And that's when we can all, clearly say it.
People don't speak out because they want to keep their job. And then it gets worse because they're like, they're saying nothing.
Well, like any other workplace, Yeah, exactly. I know where you're going at because, like any other workplace, if if you do it once and you say it's fine, but then you keep doing it and they expect that to be the norm,
That
Yeah.
happens with
that's
everything. If you work like say, like,
yeah,
if you work fast paced or slow paced, if you happen to
yeah,
be a slow work, but at one time you pick up your pace, they expect that all the time. Like, you know,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then they did it. It's a spiraling rope. It's kind of like saying from now on, just only do the bare minimum. Don't do anything more than that. And as soon as someone comes along and starts doing more, then it'll make you look bad, sure, but they'll learn in the long run that doing it's just essentially
well,
it's just the moral of that story is do shit bare minimum and don't worry about it. Go back, do your 8 hours. Fine.
I've definitely seen that in the past. I've definitely seen that
Oh
concept make
yeah.
sense there. You end
Yeah,
up doing too much, you end up getting yourself dug in the deep hole, and you might kiss the
exactly.
certain right asses to feel like you're kissing the right asses, and then you get chucked in the deep end. You're doing more than what you expected
And they
because they
take it.
expect you to do all
Yeah,
the time, and they expect you can do more. You've done heaps this time. You can do more again. You can do a little bit more. You can do a little bit more.
yeah,
So
and they
work the bare
take it
minimum.
take it for granted, and it's expected to you every single time, and that's raising the bar. Sure, in some circumstances, raising the bar is fine. Like if it's a competition or something, like you're out to be better, but when it comes to work, like a medial job like that, don't raise the bar. Do your bare minimum. Do your reasonable amount of hours. If you're going to do better than that, like sure, if you want to climb the ladder of corporate or whatever, there's better ways to do it.
When
Yeah,
to
I
But
know
say
that.
no. That's all it
yeah,
is. When to say no.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
that's
Because they'll
exactly it.
take
I'm
advantage
like
of
that.
you.
Well,
It's
I'm like
people will
that as
take
well.
advantage of you of it. So
I'm
it's shown in the past.
I'm down those roads, and in general sense, like I'm trying to wake up a little bit myself personally in a personal experience. Like you try and do things a lot, and I'm trying to like be more of like not necessarily a no person to things.
Mm.
I'm trying to be more of a less of a yes bitch and more of a like just what I mean, just being like yeah
Yeah.
yeah 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 yeah. So it's not
Yeah,
necessarily being saying no. It's more like stop being a yes bitch and be more of a yes man. At the sense, like
Mm.
I'm trying to be like say yes to more to do more, but not just say yes just to do things to make.
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
And it's not
yeah,
necessarily just saying
I'm
no,
in that boat. Like I said yes to
yeah,
everything. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a
And you
stupid
become
thing to do.
you become more of a yes bitch. And I realized that
Mm.
the other day. I'm like, you start becoming more of a yes bitch, and you'll just happy say yes to everything because like yeah. And there's a difference between like
'Cause they
the
expect
concept of
it
being a
from you.
yes
So
man. It's yeah,
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah,
So
yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I've experienced that in the past where I've been like, oh yeah, I've been like that, and after a while, you just realize it's not really worth it, and which is one of the reasons why in the past I've changed careers and kind of went, and just went, that's it. I've had enough, and I've moved on, and it's good to keep busy.
yeah, but there's
But
busy and then there's stress the fuck out busy.
exactly. So it's being busy for the right
Hmm.
reasons.
and it's not just saying
And
no
It's
because
not
I
for
feel
the
like no
wrong,
is just
but
giving up.
yeah,
depends what it is.
yeah, and just basically, eventually you learn that it's not all about rushing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh hell no.
And doing things right the first time, like the good old saying, measure twice, cut once kind of thing. So, eventually you do learn. Just, it's all right to say no, and it's all right to say yes, and it's all right to tell people to go fuck themselves.
That's
Under
exactly it.
Moral of the
I'm
story.
starting to get
say
that point now, more and more.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's too many times where you feel like you're throwing yourself under the bus basically to do whatever you can, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
what's the point? It's like
yeah,
you're not doing any good for yourself at the end of the day.
especially if you do it for the long term and it gets you nowhere. You're like, why am I
yeah,
doing that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's people's expectations of you
Mm.
is whether it's a good or bad.
There's always a
It
bad catch.
doesn't
to it.
really matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Oh, and that's
So
exactly it. Like
it's
I feel like with a lot of that, like I felt like I've drifted a little bit away from who I feel like I've been as well, because of that
yeah,
sense. It's just like that's not me. It is me, but it's
Happens.
not me. And that's exactly it. It's just like what the fuck I've been doing.
yeah,
Happens.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it.
So
But
I'm starting saying yes and
moral-
no a lot more now. Like for
and that's exactly it.
Oh, it's
opposite things now.
it's like that Jim Carrey movie. Was it Yes Man or something like that?
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
Yeah,
It's
it
being
was
more of
always
yes,
not
not
that
just
like,
everything. It's being
yes!
yes to
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's
Taking
good to say
chances.
yes, but it's like for fun things, kind of testing your limits. But when
Mixing
it's
the
something
waters.
involving like work, and they kind of go, "Do you want to do an extra 4 hours, no pay?" And it's kind of like, "No, go fuck yourself."
People don't say that though. Let's go whatever. But
Yeah, 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 yeah. but then you just got to choose your battles. It's
I mean, there's
one of
certain
those things.
circumstances. You say yes one day, yes no another day. Like if
Yeah.
you feel like you do it, do it. If not, not. Like
Yeah.
you've got a choice.
And that's exactly it. And
that's
you got to
exactly
start to realize those choices are there. They're not just forced upon you. You have to do these things. Like there are choices you can choose.
And if
to
they
do.
fire you for it, fucking sue 'em.
Yeah,
Just say,
exactly.
I'm not doing overtime. It's not in my contract to do it. Fuck you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the good old was that give them a call and say their customer
call
service sucks, and if they say why, you just say because I've just lit your building on fire. I'm just saying I've never done that. I'm just saying it's
FBI shows up the door.
It's hello.
Did you upload these photos of a burning? No, these aren't from me. These aren't from me.
No, exactly. No, of course not.
Well, he has done it.
No, no,
Obviously,
no,
COVID. He couldn't join the potty because he had COVID.
Yeah. I'm
He
locked
doesn't
away.
have COVID.
I'm in lockdown somewhere. Just customer service.
Oof.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You've got your own fucking choice. Yes, no. Use it.
Yeah. It's just like when they made Star Wars. That Star Wars of Rian Johnson. Someone should have turned around and said, besides Mark Hamill, and say no.
I reckon a lot of people thought what he was thinking, really, and it didn't say anything.
100%. And it goes back to probably like that, with Blizzard's sexual harassment thing. People will go to think they're going to get fired because of it. And it's just people shouldn't live in that kind of. People shouldn't be worried that they're going to get fired if they say no. Whether you're working on a Star Wars film and you're calling someone out in their bullshit because they're in their own magical fantasy land thinking they can get away with anything. Or if you're working at Blizzard thinking sexual harassing women is all right because it's fucking a frat boy kind of situation, and because you're not going to get fired, they're going to get fired if they say something about it. So that's completely fine. So in those situations, these type of people just need a good fucking slap in the face, and possibly someone ring up. More than I was about to say, let me lead to that. Someone ringing up customer service and saying, there is a default problem with your person. It's like, why is this? Because they're on fire.
They're on fire.
They're on fire. It's like, what? This is fire. And
Actually,
that's why flamethrowers need to be legal in Australia. I
want to come back to something different again, but just kind of back to TikTok again. Something funny because I just looked at it then. Because I just want to check. No, I saw a notification.
I'm not promoting lighting people on fire, right?
No, that's why I'm moving away from that.
Joking.
Moving away from that.
I am saying though, call people out in their bullshit.
FBI, open up!
Jim,
just start hearing the knock at the door. It's like FBI, open up!
Jim, FBI's going to be at your place very soon. You need to lock yourself in a bunker like me and Dale and Saddam bin Laden. And
Saddam bin Laden.
Saddam bin Laden. That is
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam bin Laden.
Both of the guys, they're the same guy. It's just changed face. It's like that movie Face Off.
Osama Hussein.
Saddam bin Laden is Saddam Hussein. It's just they took the face off.
Don't ruin that movie for me.
What? You've never seen Face Off? Seriously?
Good fucking movie.
That's a fantastic movie. John Travolta, Nicolas Cage.
I gotta
just. Yeah. And you were saying, Dal?
Sorry, I'll have to find these. I have to find these and send them to you, Wookie. But there's been a weird trend. I forgot because I just saw it like then, and it reminded me because it's been happening to a lot of people lately. People on TikTok have been uploading videos of them somehow. It just happens because it's America. It's just natural things happen. But people are coming across Jason Segel in the public.
Jason Segel, yeah.
And
really?
They're just finding him in the public, and they're just having weird moments with him, like wholesome weird moments with Jason Segel. And it's been very funny. There was one I saw where this chick was like, must have spotted him walking.
Jason Segel
from How I Met Your Mother.
From How I Met Your Mother.
And
Oh yeah. I thought
Yeah.
you meant Steven Seagal. I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
Yeah, I was like, if people run into Steven Seagal, it's probably because he's about to arrest you because he's like an unofficial marshal or
He's a bounty
something.
hunter,
Like
whatever
that.
it is.
His
That-
ponytail was so long he can just whack you with it and drag you in.
Yeah, it's just it's all I can think of right now is getting arrested by the Steven Seagal, and I'm like, and then watching his old classic movies. If you're like a henchman or his wife, you're going to die.
I saw a pirated movie of his, and it had it as Steven C. Eagle.
Oh
It
god.
was Steven C.
Oh,
Eagle. Like,
you mean those like made up photoshopped covers for the pirated movies back in the day? Oh my
Yeah.
god, that would be awesome for a shirt now. Just do one of
Oh.
those like
Beardy Bros.
Be Easy Bros, and it's like some kind of taken from like multiple movies just mixed together, and it's supposed to be like a big just like a whatever cover for a pirated movie.
I once had an idea, like do it like a Metallica thing, like have the big M and A as like Beardy and the B and the S.
BNS, yeah.
I was
Just
trying to
like
do
from
that.
so
I was trying
many
to do
things.
something like that at one point for Metallica shirts.
Right.
Um,
It's like,
but no, coming back. Like there's been different situations. I've only found a couple of them so far, but it's basically Jason Segel like in the wild, just being him, just being a person, and a lot of it's coming down to like him. The way he's in person is basically how he acts in movies. Like he's acting no different as the person he
he's
is.
retired now, right? Is that why he's just?
Well,
he
I haven't seen him in
What?
nothing for ages, man.
I don't know. But there's this one video I saw, where someone must have been filming. They were like must have seen him walking by, and they filmed him outside from the wind. Like because there must have been a diner. They saw him walk by and they filmed him, and he caught wind. He must have caught wind of them filming him, and he walks up and there's like a poster on the wall on the side of the glass, and he's like pokes his head going, and he's being like goofy going, and he's been all like weird and
It's
goofy,
just,
like because he's like, oh, you're filming me, you might as well I'll pull funny little dootsy faces. And the one I just opened up then on TikTok when I was just looking at my phone was this girl goes, I had my phone out recording this guy, and then he smiled, and it's basically Jason Segel carrying a bunch of chips and drinks and stuff, and he's walking along, and he goes, hey, it's made he sees, like, realize that they're recording, it's like some food festival or concert or something, and he's just walking along with all his food, and he just looks at the camera and does a little smirk at the camera, and he's just, like, carrying all this food, it's like, it's just him in the wild, just being him, like, he's just being a person like anyone else. But, like, apparently it's a big trend at the moment all over TikTok, because people are finding him in the wild, and filming him, and he's just being quirky. Like it's just like this big growing trend. It's just like I need to find all these.
Is not fake. It's just him.
It's just him being him.
it's
Like
him
all the
being
movies he's
himself,
acting, he's not actually acting. It's just him being him. Like
Probably over the top him, really. Like
but it's just kind of funny that he's just being quirky in public. He's like, oh, there's a camera. It's like, oh, look at me, kind of thing. It's like, oh, there's a camera. Like he's just like, if there's a camera, I'm gonna act in front of it or whatever. You know, be silly. It's just like, oh, it's kind of
You wouldn't know.
wholesome.
Like if you're being filmed, you have to do something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Like-
why not? And then there's so many things that we can come across on TikTok. Like I've come across the Aussie artist Ben Lee. He's got a TikTok now, and he's like,
yeah.
but he looks so ratchet these days. Like he's like he looks tired 24/7. He looks so tired.
He just got old. That's pretty much
Basically,
his
that's it.
explanation.
That's basically it. He looks tired, like his hair's all scraggly, like 24/7. Every TikTok he's got the bags under his eyes. He looks like he's tired, like 24/7. Every TikTok he makes.
He's gone full raccoon mode.
He's like full hobo, like I'm doing fine.
Actually,
but...
that's a good segue if you realize that Ben Lee, because Ben Lee actually did a tour with one of the guys from How I Met Your Mother. What is it?
It was
who played Ted?
Yes, they did that. They did
Yeah.
tour.
They did
that.
a tour because they were both playing as musical artists, and they did a song together, and I think they album as well.
They did the whole album after that, I think it was.
Yeah. I think it was about 2 years ago they did a tour through Australia. I was meaning to go to that, but I couldn't get the night off. But it was pretty good. Yeah, which was a nice segue. I just realised the connection between the two.
The sort of connection without even
How I Met
realising.
Your Mother and
Ben
Ben Lee, and
Not even the right actor's connection, but it was still like show connection.
Yeah, show connection. Next minute you're going to bring up something about Neil Patrick Harris.
Let's find. Can I find anything on Neil
That's
Patrick
all.
Harris?
You just start searching.
Quickly, let me check on Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I forgot how to spell his name for a second there.
No, there was something, but I forgot what it was. He's in
Yeah,
hospital
yeah.
or something. I
Let's
think it
have
was
a look.
COVID related, maybe.
Probably. Yeah. I'm over COVID. Just
No, the
over it.
punchline's already the thing gone. You won't find it quick enough.
Yeah.
Only thing a day ago was he's showing off his hot summer bod. That was the headline.
It's
Neil Patrick showed off his summer body with a shirtless post workout selfie. That's the only latest headline.
and all I
Yeah,
can think of is
definitely.
his cameos in Harold and Kumar, where he's like, "You
Yeah.
guys want to have some crack?" Or he's just like, "Aren't you gay?" That they run into him again in the second one. It's like, "Aren't you gay?" It's like, "No, I only fake being gay to get chicks." It's like, "But you have a husband." It's like, "Yeah, I pay him in crack.
That's
Pretend to be my husband."
This photo is quite questionable. So he's standing next to a mirror and he's got the selfie, and like you look at the front left side of the thing, you see him there. It's cut at the like the waist. Then you see off the mirror's reflection, it's him looking at his phone taking the selfie because using off the reflection mirror.
Yeah.
Questionably, he's standing in grey shorts and he has an extremely large bulge in his pants.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, that's a bit of a selfie to take there, mister.
Hey, maybe it's not a selfie for us. Maybe it's a selfie for his husband.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But that's what's being shared around, so I can
But
understand
shared
why it's being
around,
shared
it's
around.
like, yeah, we could get away with this. Hey, I'd let it slide because, it's like girls showing off, like photos of them wearing a dress. It's like, we focus on certain parts, but,
So I don't think he was he was just like, check out my workout. It's just
we don't
like,
intend to
workout erection.
Oh, he fucking knew.
Workout erection.
work out. Dal, where is this leading to?
I don't know. Have you worked out that hard that you get an erection?
This is not about the TV show How I Met Your Mother. This
It was
is
the
a completely
Patrick
different
segue.
tangent. This is a completely different segue. Now we're talking about cocks.
How many dicks can you suck in a row? It was 30,
Yeah.
how many dicks did you suck? 37. What's 37 in a row?
In a row.
No, not at the same time.
time. No, it's
So
not
during
that.
this segue, I'm trying to make a segue here to the announcement of not just related to the 37 dicks from Clerks, but the start and filming and production of Morats. Not more. Is it more? No, Clerks.
It would be more rats.
Clerks. No, it is. Is it Clerks 3? Morats. Fuck.
There goes the thing.
Yeah,
I'm on it now. It's Clerk. Oh, it's one of those. Kevin Smith is back.
Do you have
You've-
the link?
You've killed it.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. It's got production. I think it was Clerks 3.
You killed it.
Yeah.
Fuck. I had it there. I'm partly drunk brain.
That reminds me, I still haven't seen the latest Jane Silent Bob movie yet.
The what?
There was a Jane Silent Bob movie released last year.
I haven't seen it either, actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because it's just all,
It's a
I
good
haven't seen
movie.
the Bill and Ted or that. Yeah.
Oh, I saw the Bill and Ted. I just never got around to seeing anything else. I've just been like, oh yeah, I should have time to watch all
Yes.
these because I've been locked down, but I haven't.
So yeah, no, it was right. No
You have
wonder,
to think about
no wonder
it.
I was thinking that. So I was thinking the Clerks quote because it is lying in that it is Clerks 3. Because I remember seeing
It
stuff
is
and I thought it
Clerks, yeah.
was, and that's why I was like, my goofy drunk brain.
Yeah,
So
still, that ship sailed.
Kevin Smith's Clerks are acquired by Lionsgate, and they started filming, and they've been posting a lot everywhere on TikTok and
Lionsgate.
Instagram and everything. So they've been getting that rolling happening now. So yeah, Clerks 3 is in production, and it's finally happening. And we're finally getting a new Clerks movie. Everyone's
never
back
seen
pretty
the
much.
first
Everyone's back and ready for the action, which is pretty cool
Mhm.
to see.
Oh, it's good to see that.
Um,
Well, that's the thing. I don't think I'm excited for any movies that are coming out again now soon. I don't
but,
think I've seen. I'll probably have to wait till later on the year and see if there's any good trailers coming out. Oh yeah, the new James Bond. I want to see the new James Bond. Ghostbusters, of course.
What are you on rock hands for? Are you...
Mine isn't a
Rocket
movie that I'm excited for, but it comes out October.
game.
No, Chucky TV series.
Oh yes. I saw
Oh
that.
yes, yeah. I saw the trailer
I
for
saw
that.
that. Ooh.
Because San Diego Comic Con online just went through, and that's where all the trailers are coming from.
Mm.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's where the Chucky TV series was announced.
Speaking
like,
of
that could be
TV
good, too.
series, speaking of TV series,
Yeah.
before we go away, I'll still mention again Kevin Smith. I watched his recent He-Man, Master of the Universe Revelations.
Yeah, the animated. Yep.
And that was actually pretty good. That was pretty interesting to watch, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really good," because there's been a little bit of uproar from a lot of the fans at the moment saying that it's not He-Man, but I'm like, this is the He-Man that I remember. It doesn't follow He-Man specifically in this specifically
Or just in it.
specifically
Specifically, yeah.
specifically sounds like some kind of disease, sickness you can
Right?
catch.
Syphilis.
Syphilis. But yeah, so it doesn't specifically follow He-Man.
Syphilis.
Specifically.
Yeah, it doesn't
Specifically, yeah.
specifically follow He-Man. It follows other characters, but
You
it
said
does definitely
specifically.
feel like a true He-Man story, which has been pretty good so far.
Oh,
It's only
no.
been 5 episodes, I think it was.
But have you seen the original Dolph Lundgren live action He-Man?
Yes, I actually own that on DVD.
That is a fantastic movie.
But there were talks of a live action. I think where a lot of it used to happen was there was talks of a live action, and they were expected when Kevin Smith was working on He-Man that he might have been doing the live action, but it was end up being the cartoon instead.
Yep.
So no, that wasn't too bad back in the day, but it was still a bit cheesy. Like it doesn't really hold up at all to modern times.
That reminds me, very soon they'll be bringing out the new animated series, well, small series, What If, for the Marvel. So the What If situations, what if like Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum, Kilgore was, friends with Tony Stark, all that kind of stuff. Star-Lord was actually,
Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies, all that kind of stuff. So that's coming out very soon on Disney Plus. We're expected to see that soon. What else am I excited about? Next month, the new Aliens co-op game.
Oh, okay.
That comes out.
That looks so good.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Alpha Team or something like that, or
Fire
Aliens.
Team.
Fire Team. That's it. Fire Team.
Oh, that's right. The one we
Yeah,
talked
Fire
about a
Team.
while back. That's right. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. It's a 3-player, either single player or co-op. That's looking good. I managed to see some video play of that. Some gameplay. It looks good. They do mix it up a bit.
It looks like Gears of War, but Alien universe.
Yeah, because they mix it up. You're not just versing aliens. You're like, there's bits where you're actually versing, like, the symphoid.
Other people and
other people and stuff like that. And
there? They said there's like what 6 different variants of the aliens as well, like you got acid spitters. And...
Yeah, you've got
that's cool.
Multiple variants. Because it's like Yutani likes to play around with genetics. So, it's that game is coming out very soon. I do believe it's next month, and that's looking good. Too bad it's only 3-player co-op.
It can be a bit weird.
Hoping 4.
You don't need 4. Maybe it's designed that way on purpose for a specific
not
mechanic.
Overpowered, so it's not you don't feel underpowered versing them, but then you don't feel overpowered.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You've got 4 classes, but you can only have a fire team of 3.
Made that way deliberately for something.
Well, it always balances out like a paper scissors rock kind of situation, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
You're going to kind of even it out. So you've got like a heavy, or your heavy guy, your medic, your engineer, and I forgot what the other one was, but you kind of have to work it out.
Kind of feels like Evolve in the sense of Evolve all over again, because you had like your 5 or 6 different classes, but it was a 4-player game.
Yeah.
But then you had to be smart of how you chose the class depending on the monster you were fighting. And you may needed the medic, but then no one went medic, and then you're like screwed because then you don't have meds to heal everyone, and then you're trying to fight this certain boss, and it's more damage to your wheeling, where then there's another one which was more resilient, so you needed a heavy, but no one went heavy, and you're like, well, it's a longer grind because he's got armor skin, stuff like that.
Exactly.
That kind
you
of
got to
sense
choose
where,
your class
based on the
wisely.
mission. I think that's what they may be going for, which we may see more classes and being introduced, possibly.
So they've pretty much done that. So for the game, which it still looks good. I can't think of anything else that's coming out.
The demos that's come dropping for Back 4 Blood, like in
Back 4 Blood beta is dropping very soon.
I got my code. I'm happy.
I'll say there's the beta's been dropping and going around for Halo Infinite as well at the moment. I haven't found it
Halo
yet.
Infinite,
but a lot of that's been going around. It's been looking pretty good. It's actually been getting a lot of good feedback at the moment, by the sounds of it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Looks like Halo.
That's not bad. Well, they've had an extra year to kind of work on it, so which it's hopefully it's looking good in the final aspect.
But there's a lot of cool little Easter eggs they've done as well, and like they're going back to the nostalgia feel of things. They're not like, I feel like they're having a bit more fun with the game. They're not being so serious where the last few went, where they went a bit too serious with it. They were trying to be like, this is a game. They're trying to be like, they're going, no, this is a game. Like this is for people to play, not be like let's actually have some fun and enjoy themselves. Like let's make something that you can, not feel so serious about because they're having a little more fun with it. And
Halo
that's what a lot of people say.
serious.
Yeah.
Hey?
Halo is serious. I want to kill everyone there.
Yeah, but it's about having fun with it though at the same time. That's why I think that's why they introduced
Fuck
the whole
that.
grappling
It's fuck
hook.
fun. Just keep fucking murdering them.
Well, that's the thing.
fun
I like the
is
idea
from
that
murdering.
Well, that's exactly. But I like the extra twerk. Wow, twerking.
Murdering is fun.
I've heard one bad thing about it.
Mm.
That it's like COD in the callouts where it's constantly fucking talking. Like, remember back in the day they didn't really talk? Like, there was like Slayer, headshot, stuff like that. And now it's constantly going like left, right, left, fucking up, down.
Huh?
Like, that's bad.
That's weird.
It's like COD, like the
I don't
constant
know, it's gonna be
callouts.
interesting. Oh, the constant call. Yeah, it's weird.
You don't need that. They're fucking Spartans. They don't fucking communicate that much.
Oh.
Well, no, the new ones do. The new ones do because
if you read the books, they do. Like I've read a lot of the books, and they kind of go that way. So
yeah,
it's
people
sticking
just
to,
don't like it.
It's sticking to the law. That's the thing. They're sticking to the law.
Is it the new Spartans or the old Spartans? Because there is a.
Don't know.
The new ones do call outs a lot more because they're not genetically, they're not enhanced like the previous ones as well. They cannot just.
Apparently, it's not even a beta. It's more of a tech demo that they've.
Well, it's the multiplayer. Yeah, it's actually the multiplayer though. But I like the fact that you like a lot of the things that they've done, and I know I'm gonna have fun with it. With the grappling hook, is just grappling hook explosives, whipping to him, and then throwing them at people. Like I'm just gonna be like doing gunfire, grapple the hook, and then I'm wondering if I can grapple a grunt, grab him, and then just yeet him. If I can do that, if I can like run, grapple, be like, grapple him, and then just yeet him off the cliff, just like yeet. Or if he's got the grenades, and if you're able to grapple him before he comes at you and he doesn't explode, imagine having a grunt that's coming at you with like suicide grunt. You launch the grapple, grab him, and then just yeet him at the rest of the gang, like coming at you. It's like yeet, just.
All I can think of is Just Cause. That game where you've got the grappling hook and the parachute and all that kind of stuff, and that game is fantastic. The car surfing. Imagine Master Chief just doing all the stuff out of Just Cause, pretty much.
That would be good though. But I was gonna say there was an Easter egg that people have been popping up and pointing out.
And dragging with you.
There's a little Easter egg that's been popping up. People have been looking at in the customization. So there's all the different color schemes like red, green, blue, whatever such it was, and when there's pink, but when you come to click on pink, it's not called pink, it's called lightish red.
Oh yeah, back to the red versus blue.
So it's a throwback to red versus blue, yeah, and it's like that's kind of cool, where it's like red, blue, green, lightish red, grey, black, and it's like that's kind of funny. Like they're having fun with it.
Easter egg. Yeah.
Like they're not being. That's what I mean. There's a lot of stuff they're not being as serious. Like they want it to be like, of course, serious in the sense it needs to be a completed game, polished, mechanics work, all that kind of side of things. But like I think how it's going to be done is it's not going to be as serious for the fact of like how the story went. Like
it's going to be a next gen system seller, which I don't think it's going to be that.
Well, it can't be really a system seller now for one because it's out after the systems have launched.
For Halo still
and. Like that's what I mean. It's coming out after systems have already been released, so it's not a system seller anymore. The way it's going at the moment, apparently, Flight Simulator is the system seller because Flight Simulator has been released. Apparently, sales for the Series S have skyrocketed. Like it's ridiculous because of Flight Simulator, and everyone's going mad for it. Like. It's like, what the hell? It makes no sense.
Well, they've already missed the point, the part where it could have been a part of the system seller.
But consoles have sold out.
It should have been last year. They should have released Halo last year in order to be a system seller. They screwed up, especially after they showed off the gameplay and it looked like dog shit.
Yep.
And what can you do?
Yeah, that game was in development for 5 years before it was shown off.
And it was looked like shit, and that was like their test demo. And if that was the test demo for at that stage, a test demo, that's fucking bad for a test demo. Like, the launch would have been maybe a little bit better, but nowhere near amazing. Because exactly, because that's the test demo.
They're still showing multiplayer. They can whip that up in a year. Where's the campaign still?
Well, they're not going to show the campaign because that's
what I want.
They're spoiling a lot of stuff, but
I don't give a shit about.
Oh no, they have shown events, not exactly campaign specifically. That they did show like brief-based gameplay. Huh?
Cutscenes don't count.
They weren't cutscenes though. They're actually like because you're like grappling the hook, the container, and doing like that was actual gameplay
Yeah,
from
that
the
was
actual
gameplay.
campaign.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that
I
was
mean, like proper.
But I know what you mean.
Oh, yeah.
Cutscenes don't count because cutscenes have always in game.
Very
Whenever they've
deceiving.
whenever they've showed off stuff in the past, and it's
Mm.
like this is the footage of the game, and it's like it's just they put a little comment on the bottom
Because
saying this is actually a cutscene. Go fuck
Yeah.
you
yourself.
remember that
Yeah.
original Halo Infinite thing where that tech demo, before they showed the gameplay,
The
it
actual was a
looked good.
cutscene.
And then it was like,
cutscene.
oh.
Yeah, because that was actual cutscene. They had the whole thing with the guy, and they landed the ship, and then that was actual
Yeah,
cutscene at
yeah.
the start, and
And
then
it didn't look the best,
it
but
jumped
it was
between
better
different.
than the actual gameplay.
Well, the gameplay jumped. It had. Well, even though the worst part. Well, actually, what the worst part, like you say, was when you talked about cutscenes gameplay. The biggest thing where like the crag meme came from. That was actually a cutscene. That wasn't gameplay. That was actually a
No,
cutscene. That was like an in-game cutscene.
Where he jumps down and is like, hello.
Yeah, that was an in-game cutscene. That wasn't
Mm.
actually gameplay itself. That was actually an in-game cutscene to fluid it along. Imagine if that's an in-game cutscene.
Oh no,
like
that
that's
Craig was talking. That was on the same thing. Like where they got the Craig meme was the one that jumped out into the player.
That's
The one that
that
was
whole thing.
talking
That
was
whole
the
sequence that was
cutscene.
happening was an in-game cutscene, and then there was the
Yeah,
other
that
one,
was
the
the
actual
live
cutscene.
gameplay because he was moving towards it, like playing the character jumping.
That was
and
it's it's
weird.
hard to say because you can
But
see the
like,
difference.
Still 343. You suck. Bungie
But-
should have took Halo with them.
It's there's the whole thing with that again. Too.
Halo should have died at 3. Just no more. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's like anything. It's a franchise. They're gonna keep milking it until
But it's because mainly again it comes down to Microsoft own it, and Microsoft will make milk it because it's their like branded. You think
It's
of
always
Halo, you
been
think of
their
Microsoft. It's their key.
signature.
Yeah, it's the signature
Yeah.
key character. Every
Yeah,
company
they
has a
need
character.
something new. Like what Sony are doing, they're making Ghost of Tsushima like a.
Yeah, but their key character's always been
Can't
Crash
think of the other
Bandicoot.
ones.
Look how many
Yeah,
Crash
there's
Bandicoot
no-
games they made. Look at
Well,
saying in the past. Look how many Crash Bandicoots
That's
they
not
made.
Sony though. That's
Yeah, yeah,
Activision now. So
Well,
Yeah, no, but
actually,
that's-
one thing I was
Sony's
thinking
mascot.
of, just
Sony don't own
spitballing it.
Crash.
No, but that's always been their mascot.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's always been their mascot.
Yeah,
There's
they've
no
also
games
built
they made.
more, not just relying on the same. Like Xbox, you think Gears, Forza, Halo. That's it.
And that's nowadays. Yeah, you look at their mascots, and that's why they've had to. That's why the whole Bethesda
That
thing.
ain't
But
way
you
more.
can't.
But the new ones suck.
That's why they bought
Yeah,
into
that's
Bethesda. That's
right.
why the big Bethesda thing had to be a
They're
thing
not going
because
to
they
be any
wanted
better just
more
because they're there.
mascots. Exactly, they wanted more mascots. But the main mascots, like you say, are Marcus Phoenix, Master Chief, a car from Forza. It's like
Well, that's
any
yeah,
car.
just-
Like it's that
just-
one iconic
just
car.
Forza.
Well, they
But-
even stuck, the Warthog in Forza. So,
Mm.
Yeah.
but that's the thing. This is one thing I was thinking of. Yeah, how TV shows, like I think it was HBO, they just make whatever they want. But then there's others like Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon does the whole pilot thing.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they'll make a pilot of multiple TV shows, and then everyone agrees which one they want to continue on that TV series with. So they did JRVD with JRCV, the Jean-Claude Van Damme one,
Yeah.
the Tick, and all that kind of stuff. Why don't
That's how Jack Ryan went. That was a pilot, and then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that was watched by a lot of people."
do more of that.
Yeah,
with
exactly. So they count it by views and see actually people which pick it up and so on and so forth. It'd be interesting if they did that an aspect for a video game. So
Well, that's kind of like the old way of doing
More
things.
risky because there's a
Yeah,
lot more
yeah.
involved with the video game than the
But
show.
that's the old way. That's how the games used to be done. They used to make a game, see if it worked, and it worked. If it did, they went with it.
Well, Sony are doing that. Remember Days Gone? There's no sequel to that.
because it didn't take
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
People love it.
But I
It's a
mean,
very
like,
good game.
so
it's all about sales.
it was more financially easier to do a pilot in some
Yeah.
extent because it was a small amount and then rather paying for an entire season, right?
It's like the boys that took off really quick. Like that
Yeah, exactly.
pilot,
And
people
then
were like on it.
on it straight away. So if there was a way they could do that for games, so if they made like a chapter of a game, like this is the first start of the game, they put the same amount of money, like a fraction of the cost to make the game, and just make the first part of the game, but do it like 5 other games and just make the first part and go, all right, this works. And then if everyone goes out and whichever sells the most, and people will just jump up and down. Like for example, they kind of did it with episodes when they did Sin Episode 1, Half-Life Episode 1. So if they did something like that for video games and made like a episode or same thing, but then go, all right, if you guys like that, we'll continue on with the rest of the game and make the whole game and focus on that for the
That's
next
a lot
couple
of effort though for nothing.
It is
in
a lot of
return.
effort. Yeah,
Can we do
yeah,
a show you can
exactly.
just shoot in a week, just bam, done.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's more. That's how a lot
Or
of
a few
the
days even, really.
Well, actually, the episode takes more than that, but
I
yeah,
think at the sense of like where you're saying that is kind of the sense of where I think with Bethesda for the sense of them partnering up and then the whole Game Pass thing as well is they had
Yeah.
mentioned in one of their interviews that they were looking at that it opens doors for new developers to make games and then they can get them actually published up onto a service where there's no costs involved because they're partnered. They can just be like, hey, let's just upload it. There's no fees going, oh, we have to pay you. Can we get this uploaded to your servers and stuff like that? We're going to pay a fee. It's just like once it's there because they're Xbox, Bethesda, they're under them. So whatever they make is immediately owned by Microsoft. So they can go, yep, we'll upload it at no cost because it's there and
It's
then
so stupid.
what money makes from it.
I know where you're getting at, where basically it does open the opportunity for other developers to put a bit of a focus on them, and if that IP actually does seem more worthwhile and it does actually get a lot of traction, that's when they kind of go throw the money towards it. So yeah, I guess they have technically been doing that.
Because I mean, it's like Hades, for example. Like that's just a random indie game, and look how much that's become a big title. Like everyone loves Hades.
That's because people started streaming it. And then
But
they're like, oh, that looks cool.
It's on everything. It's improved. Like it's bigger. Like, who knows where
that
that
comes
company
out next
go.
month on console.
Like that company could go anywhere with the next game. Like, do they continue with that IP?
Xbox.
They can technically with that fame they've got now. They could go with a new IP. They can keep working on that IP. Like, there's all kinds of things, and that's all it takes really. Is just testing, like you say, testing the waters and seeing what the people like, and if they like it, they keep working with it. If they don't, well, then you move on to something else. And it kind of was like the same sense as I've played Game Dev Tycoon, and that was the same sense. You'd work when you play game to try upcoming developers, and it was kind of a parody to history of gaming development, and it was the same kind of concept where you'd make a game and there's that niche market for that, and you'd make a second one, you'd make a third one, and then after a while it would start dying down because people had played enough of that. They were getting bored of it, so they wanted something new, so you'd make something new, and then you'd make maybe 3 different types of genres of games, and then like that's what I would do, and then see what people liked, and then I'll okay I'll do that niche market of this game again. I'll do a couple of do a trilogy of that, and then I'll make another bunch of games and see what people liked and do another trilogy of that. And that's what sold money, and then you go, okay.
It already happens though. They just don't put out for the public. It's more in. And
I think that's exactly it. I think it does go like that still, but it's not.
Well, it has to be a thing already because devs don't work on one game at a time. They work on like 3 or 4, and then whatever comes.
Well, unless you're,
CD Projekt Red.
Was that? Yeah, I was about to say CD Projekt Red, where you just work on one game consistently for
like 6, 7, 8 years, 9, 10 years.
6, 7, 8 years.
Get nowhere with it.
Yeah.
They did The Witcher and Cyberpunk at the same time, pretty much.
But that's exactly it. But like, look at that. They started with Witcher, and that's all they did was The Witcher. They did nothing else. And then they got more and more into it. Then they go, okay, we're going to work on Cyberpunk now because then we want to do.
Cyberpunk didn't begin really development until 2016 after Witcher came out. So people said it's in development. No, it was in development 4 years, 5 years.
Something like that, It was in pre-conception for a long time.
Yeah. Well, now that we've brought up Cyberpunk, can we bring up Fortnite now? Because that's normally how we go.
Yeah, we've got Fortnite.
We give Cyberpunk shit. And
we can. We've got coming in 7 days to see if it actually happens. So there's a timer happening in Fortnite at the moment, and there's a lot of leaks going on, and possibly I've said this theory in the past. I made jokes about it because people were going, oh, these skins are coming, and they're like, I was like, what, they'll add Ariana Grande, and they're talking about all this stuff, and apparently Ariana Grande may be coming to Fortnite, and she may be part of the concert that's happening. So they revealed that there's I'm hoping, my theory is there's a concert with Ariana Grande, and she's going to be revealed to be an alien because the aliens are holding a concert or something, or they're holding a concert for the aliens.
Hold it captured.
I don't know. I'm hoping this reveals thing is like oh my god, it's Ariana Grande's skin, and then you see Ariana Grande upstage singing, and then she's like, and she's like, I'm an alien.
You can't have her holding a gun in Fortnite. That's just sending the wrong signal.
Here and there.
I reckon she could be a skin. That people would buy that skin. They'll be like,
having a gun.
Yeah.
Be like,
well, they got LeBron James holding a gun.
Works.
Yeah, they got LeBron James. I think it's going to go veered towards because they've done all like comic book characters, superheroes, all that kind of stuff.
There's way more though.
Well, yeah, I know there's way more, but they've already done the main ones, and if they keep doing that, it's just going to get worn out. So I think the next thing what they're veering towards now is celebrity.
Well,
We've got we've got. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's next week. It'll be dropping because this is the end of the week. I think Bloodsport's supposed to be dropping into Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Suicide Squad.
Are they bringing out more cars as well? More
they've
vehicles?
added the Ferrari, so that's taken over the sports car at the moment.
Aren't they doing a James Bond's car or something like that?
I know that's
or
coming
they've already
to
done
Rocket League. I know that's
Oh,
coming.
yeah, that's
to
the fucking DB5. It looks.
But the way
nice,
they're
yeah.
going, I mean, it's interesting that they had their first ever licensed car in Fortnite, which is a bit strange to have a Ferrari being like, "Hey, we'll partner up with you guys and put a car in Fortnite." Like, no.
Oh, why not?
Like, it's like, hey, let's put this car. Like, this is what gets me. I can understand advertising Rick and Morty. It's a show you can watch on TV for free. You know, you've got Bloodsport. I can understand you want to promote the Suicide Squad movie. LeBron James because he's trending in the moment for bloody Space Jam. Like, I can understand.
Yeah.
But like, let's chuck in Ferrari into the game and promote Ferrari. None of these kids are going to be able to afford a Ferrari. Why are you promoting?
Hey! But their parents can.
Maybe.
Not paying for all the V-Bucks for it.
Well, I mean, maybe they can't afford it because they're spending all these V-Bucks. Like, then they can't afford that Ferrari. But like, maybe I can understand
Ferrari's
Booger.
a well-known name.
I can understand Booger or Laserbeam maybe or Ninja being able to afford these Ferraris, but
that's the thing. It's not just kids who play the games; it's adults as well. So
majority of the time, I
adults
get a lot of kids.
like these games. You know, if you can't afford a Ferrari, at least you can get one in the game that you like playing.
That's more Rocket League, Epic. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just so weird that they've reskinned the sports cars and just gave them the Ferrari skin.
I swear that fucking David Mayonnaise, what the fuck his name is, it's getting a bit carried away.
Dijon Mustard, Mr. Dijon Mustard.
Dijon Mustard. Talk about Epic. The free games on Epic this week till August 6th is Mother Gunship, and the next one is Train Sim World 2. Both games. Yeah.
I just keep adding games to my library. Every time they pop up, just keep adding them. I just keep adding my library on Epic. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
You just keep them like.
Yeah, once you've added them,
forever. Yeah,
it's just like whatever. I'll just claim them. Just claim them.
Sometimes they do double up, like you know, after a couple they'll recycle a few. But it gives you a chance to get games that you kind of miss out on one week.
Well, you don't want to buy. Like you try it now, you've got it. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you like it, you buy the sequels or
the DLC, and then what. One thing I've noticed is a lot of the games that they're giving away, they have the base game would be free, but then you just notice all these DLCs for it, which kind of makes sense.
The Train Sim games, those DLCs are fucking expensive. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I can't remember what it was on Steam. There's like I think it was Euro Train Simulator. I think it was on Steam. The DLCs, if you got every single DLC, worked out to be like $1,000. Yeah, because like one train, you could buy a train for $100.
Yeah.
So it's just a decal. Well, like what the fuck?
Even just on the free game, the Train Sim World 2, like one of the add-ons or DLCs is that like each one is like on average like $40 to $50 each, and this is exactly one train.
So it's just
one
a decal
train.
skin.
The
Like
cheapest
it's crazy
DLC
they can do
is
that.
$30.
And people go mad for like Fortnite is like charging for skins and Rocket League is like these games are fucking highway robbery.
Rocket League's cheap compared to everything else.
Well, I understand.
It's not now.
I understand, like the people that would go out of their way getting these trains. Well, like like
video game train enthusiasts, like the enthusiasts.
Yeah, train sport, and they do put a lot of detail. Like the only reason you'd be getting it is because you're a train fanatic, and they've got detail. Like if they've got every aspect of that train in there, like the look, the feel. Like if you literally can't. You'd love these trains. You would love to be and drive these trains, and you can't.
Meme this now.
Train. Yeah.
Oh yeah, train.
I love trains.
I like trains. Monorails. I like a good train.
I had a mate in high school. He liked trains a bit too much.
I like trains.
Oh, there's a story of a guy. Apparently, we know that apparently stole a train. The great train.
How do you steal a train? How the fuck does that happen? It's on rails.
I can't remember what it was again. I can't remember what it was. It was.
Was it a toy train?
You can't take it anywhere.
Yeah, you can't. It's on a track. It only goes one way. Well, technically, one way. Yeah, no, it goes
I'll
forward.
find it eventually.
Yeah.
Going round.
Just follow the tracks. I don't get the point of robbing trains. They only go one way.
And if you take
Yeah,
them
exactly.
off, they just go forwards.
Oh,
There's no
God.
turning or nothing.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know how that works.
I think
I
I've
don't know
drank
why
a
you'd-
fair amount, lads. I think I need to go just the loo soon. I'm feeling it.
Feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
Just don't go outside.
Oh, yeah.
You know when you drink and go outside, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, as soon as I stand up, it'll just be like wet pants.
Ooh,
Oh,
it's only sweat.
yeah, it's wet. I swear. Mr. Poopy Pants just peed his pants.
That's when he wasn't joking about the friggin' jumpers and the t-shirts.
Jumpers. Yes.
He's really getting it ready.
Yeah, I've got.
This is actually I'm bringing up here. This is actually the article here. Here it is. It's back from 2013. It's the old article. We laugh about, a lot of us laugh about all the time. So we don't bring up his name, but we know who it is because I guess he's. I don't know if it's, but it's very shady story. It's just a funny story either way. We don't know if he's trying to take notoriety for it, but we know he's a crazy train enthusiast.
Sounds about right.
And it sounds like that's why the story seems legit because he is a train enthusiast, which makes this story seem very legible, the way he is about trains.
Ride a train though.
But here we go. So I'll read the full article out. So 2 brazen teenagers have managed to persuade Heritage Rail volunteers to let them drive a train from a workshop in southeast Queensland, but the would-be train thieves were only able to drive the diesel locomotive about a metre before crashing it into carriages and raising suspicions. Merivale Heritage Railway President Tony Halliman says a man entered the group's Gympie workshop on Tuesday pretending he was a person of authority and qualified train driver. His claims were backed by one of the organisation volunteers who accompanied him. But Mr. Halliman said another volunteer realised the man wasn't who he said he was when he clearly couldn't operate the train's braking system. The Heritage diesel locomotive actually bumped 3 Heritage carriages onto a Heritage rail motor, he said. Merrill said a volunteer contacted him after the crash. He then confronted the man after he was unable to produce any credentials, contacted police. Mr. Harlem said he was shocked at the teenagers' audacity, particularly given the potential dangers of their actions.
Stupid.
The individual this individual may have gotten it into his head to head on the Queensland rail tracks, he said. The scenarios are frightening, and unfortunately the volunteers from the shed he realised something was amiss and had the presence of mind to contact me. There did not appear to be any significant damage. A 17-year-old from Brisbane had been charged with fraud, unlicensed driving, and unlawful 17, an unlawful operation of vehicle. His 18-year-old accomplice, who volunteered at the organisation, had been charged with fraud. Both will appear in Gympie Magistrate, and this was back in 2013. We kind of know who this person was because he talks the talk a lot for everything. He seems to be, and this is why this kind of MO of the story fits the place too, because this guy talks the talk a lot. He's in the cosplay community. He talks the talk a lot, and he bullshits a lot of stories that fabricate really well.
Later.
I can tell you who it is later.
Yeah,
I have
tell me after the potty.
I don't know if you listen to the podcast. He gets very the story is very shady because he doesn't like when people bring up the stories. That's what the other thing that makes me think that it was still him, because people have told me the story, but it's a friggin' hilarious story. The fact that who the fuck steals a diesel locomotive, a train that isn't going to be moving fast because it's got to build up speed from a parked station.
I don't think it was like it was forward out, but only like.
The great locomotive heist, like
yeah, it's like a quarter of a plan. It's,
like I didn't know.
Not even that.
Yeah, not even that. It was just like just doing just pulling a I don't know.
It seemed just more spur of the moment. Oh, let's just go in here and do this. Like
the great locomotive heist of 2013. Like it's such a great
2 guys
story.
sitting at a bus station just smoking a cigarette, going, "I think we should steal a train."
Yeah.
After we stop this crap.
But the fact though, the accomplice was undercover working as a volunteer for God knows
that is
how
a
long,
bit of effort.
and then having his mate to be like, come in to pretend to be an official, and they're like, we're planning to do this. Like, that's work. That's like why is there not a movie of this? Like, this is a great movie premise. Like, the great locomotive heist.
The accomplice, the volunteer, was he conned by the other
No,
person?
it was his friend.
Yeah.
Goes. Like, it's actually
friend is kind of like, you know.
With the whole act of the thing,
police
like
officer and tell them that I'm an undercover cop, and if I'm talking the talk enough, they might even believe me and become my friend.
No, the story
was.
The story goes that it was supposed to be. The story goes that it actually was one of his friends that was actually an accomplice that went under, kind of like the sense, I guess, of undercover.
Oh, okay,
I didn't know if he actually worked there, but like
premeditated.
It was premeditated.
They both knew beforehand that the guy didn't even knew how to.
Yeah, they was all planned. They just wanted to,
place.
I guess, try and steal it, and that was the idea of like, okay, you're in here, let's just try and steal a train. But like, what are you going to do? Like, okay, you can steal a train, but realistically, you're not stealing, you're borrowing it for a ride, because where are you going to end up? Like, you can't hide a train. You can't be like, I've got to steal a car. I'm like, I'm going to take it down the yellow and park and hide. Like, you're on a train, you're stuck on a track. You can't be like, let's take this track here, which is going to divert here, and we'll take this track here, and we'll park up to this section where a crane's going to take it off and then put it into another. Like, what? Like, what's going to happen? Like,
it's not like stealing a car. We can be like, all right, I can put it in a garage later on and just, you know,
repaint it or something. Like, it's a fucking train.
Yeah. They know where you're going to go.
And that's why it's such a funny story, and I'd be like, imagine if they made a movie, like a concept there. It was like more thought out, like more action packed, but it could be a movie.
I think if they did make a movie, it would probably go as far as the planning as those two did. About 2.5 steps, and then it just
yeah.
Well, that'd be the most action packed. Yeah, it's like the whole concept.
That was thought out for ages.
It wasn't really thought out. It was thought out for ages, but not really properly thought out for ages.
It's such a great story.
It was just mentioned once, and then
it's an interesting story, but if you really think about it,
it'd be like a comedy. I feel like it would have to be a comedy story. Like it would have to be a comedy.
It's like Dumb and Dumber, but you know, just
that's like
stupider and stupider.
Yeah, stupid and stupider, just like...
Oh my god.
It's such a great story,
steal a car with no, like...
It's just such a great story, I keep thinking in the back of my head every time. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It is funny, but kind of funny in the kind of going, oh god, these people actually are that stupid to do something like that.
That's train enthusiast, man.
Like, it's genius, but at the same time, it was like a lot of effort.
Genius. It's just like...
Yeah, stupid genius. It's like, I'm going to work at a bank, and I'm going to get a job at the bank, and then I'm going to have a friend come in and say he's like a safe inspector, and then I'm going to vouch for him, and then we're going to open up the safe. What are we going to do after that? I don't know. It's just pretty cool to open up a safe.
I need to inspect this money. I need to take it back to the inspection lab and make sure this money is authentic.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, as it just stopped there at opening up the safe. It didn't actually. Well, there was no post planning after
like,
that.
where are you gonna go? Like the same with the train. Like, where are you gonna go with the train? Like with the money. Like, where are you gonna go with the money? No one's gonna believe that you're a money inspector. Like, I'll take this back to my lab. Like, that's gonna make no sense.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many factors. Like what are you
the money
gonna do
inspector. I'm the bank money inspector. I'm here to inspect the money and make sure it's authentic.
The bank money.
Oh, this money is not authentic. I'm going to have to take this back. Like, what?
Winging it in that aspect isn't actually, you know, they're not the smartest of criminals.
No.
I mean, winging it sometimes could work, but not in their favor.
Yeah, not in their favor. Just especially when a train only goes one direction, really.
It's like, hey kids, I'll tell you the story of this time. Well, that's exactly it. Like, hey kids, I'll tell you the story of this time I tried to steal a train. So what happened? Me and my mate, he pretended to work there. I pretended to be an official. We stole a train. That was about it.
Yeah. We turned the train on, went about a meter, and then they just kicked us out. Done.
Like they would have easily been able to, because it would have been like, slightly, and they were like, just walked up, just stepped on, like grabbed him, like get off. Like
yeah, exactly. But not just that.
The slightest ding, just ding.
But not just that. If you think about it, did the guy actually know how to operate a train?
Well, he said he didn't know how to operate because he didn't know the braking system, so he couldn't even get the brake off to get it turned off.
So again,
it was even slow still because the brakes were on, so it was still putting along at a slow pace. So they just came along and were able to just come along, like they called like the guy up who owned the place. He was able to
be making.
Well, the sound of it, like they were able to call this guy up who was able to get there from where he was at to come talk to these guys in the spare time of it happening all in an instance. Like,
Wow.
it's just such a funny story though. Either way,
That's
it's
just
just
fucked
like,
up.
Yeah,
just like, God.
just tell me who it is afterwards, so I
Yeah.
can kind of just see who it is, and just go, ha, explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see him and you start fucking giggling every time you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't see him much,
I'll
but
just say something like,
he-
been on any good trains lately?
Well, I'll say he comments on a lot of my stuff quite a fair bit. He makes up fabricated stories a lot. But well, apparently, okay, so he's a friend, kind of a friend, but the thing is, every time you see him to talk about stuff, he'll always come on and comment, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, I've been through that. I've done that. I've worked here. I've worked there."
Yeah.
And it's just like, how have you done all these things? Like, I can understand people doing a lot of things, but how have you worked for all these different companies? How do you know all
20,
these things
30
work?
different things.
Like, he's younger than me, and it's just like, how have you done all these things? Like, I don't know.
Well, there's some people that have
that's done
legitimately
stuff, but
done all
like-
these things, but just not in the ratio that you'd kind of say that they're an expert in it.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
it's
mean,
kind of
yeah.
like, if you've worked one day as a plumber's apprentice,
You don't know
it
everything
doesn't
about
make you
plumbing,
a
and then
plumber.
say you could give me
So
the
I'm
advice.
guessing he's done all those things at the same time
I don't-
span he's done that fucking train ride.
He feels like he's a good
pretty much.
storyteller. So.
I was a train conductor one time.
Yeah,
After about 1 meter being on the train, I was kicked off. That makes me a train conductor. It's like, oh, that does not count. No. I stole a $1 bill I stole a $1 coin from a bank. It makes me a bank robber. But you do have people who are just like, a jack of all trades. I understand that.
Actual jack of all
Yeah,
trades.
but
There's that.
actual
specific,
jack of all
like, a
trades.
handful of things, not like...
Yeah.
It's more the fact of like things that you'd say that would happen. Like, oh yeah, this exact same situation happened. But like, how is a spur of the moment situation going to happen at another time and spur of the moment? Like, you know what I mean? It's those kinds of situations
exactly.
where like something like that. It's like I've experienced something like how? Like there's a one-off kind of event that makes no sense that could ever really be replicated.
In other words, he's basically. I think the whole summing up of this whole podcast today is just calling people out on their shit.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
Basically, be like people just like
Don't be a
don't be a dick. Just call people out on their shit as well.
What do I call it? Yes.
Just yes. Don't let people be like, oh, I've done everything. It's like, no. I could totally write a Star Wars film and direct it and make sure it's really good. It's like, it's like, I think this scene of the blue milk is fantastic. It's like, no, just
It was funny, but look at his face. Look, he was in pain. It's like,
it's so awkward. Like it's so awkward.
It's,
Like what was he drinking? Like they must have had blue dye to a milk or something. I don't know.
probably just a milkshake for him.
Yeah. But I think that what we're saying, this pretty much the moral of this whole podcast.
Think things through.
Yeah, think things through. Call people out in this shit.
You can say that for everything we've talked about. Just think about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Don't sexually harass people because because
that's common sense.
Common sense.
Common.
Don't fucking do it. But if you do see it, call them out on their shit. And if you think that your job is in jeopardy,
Who'll say it?
don't worry about it. You're supposed to call people out on their shit. And if you get fired for it, well, just fucking sue them, like Jim said.
Yeah.
And if it's like, oh, my reputation might be ruined. It's like, no, their reputation can be ruined, and it should, because you call people out on their shit. And if someone
fires me for saying, if you said no to overtime or something, it's not in your contract. Fuck them.
Yeah,
Give them
a reasonable reason. And then also, if someone's like going, yeah, I've been in this situation, and it kind of feels a bit fishy that someone can magically be in all these situations, call them out on their shit. Say, I don't fucking believe you. I think you're just saying shit for the sake of saying shit because you want to say shit, and I think you're full of shit. And I do believe that the last Star Wars film was shit. So don't decide to write and direct and tell people to drink blue milk and sexually harass people and just fucking have a room called the Cosby Room.
I'm Bill Cosby and I drink blue
thinks of
milk
this
and
shit?
sexually harass women.
Yeah, so it's just call people out in these shit and just fucking kick him in the balls, tase him. I don't care. It's just
Tase him in the balls.
Tase them in the balls. Just and that's my. I would drop a mic, but I don't have a mic. I'll get your mic fixed. I'm up to a few drinks now.
I was gonna say, well, something I wanted to bring up too when we're talking about TV shows. By the way, I just thought about then. Well, not then. I thought about before. We kind of segued away from it, but I'm kind of keen that the show's coming back. It's coming back at the end of the year. But I don't know if you've ever watched. Dexter.
Yeah, yes. I'm keen for the
trailer drop for that for the San Diego Comic Con for the new series.
Wait,
there was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks really good.
Which reminds me,
old mate still in it?
Yeah.
Dexter, yeah, Dexter's in it. I'm wondering if his sister's going to be in it as well, and a few other.
I don't think it is because he's off in the middle of nowhere by himself.
Yeah, it was some kind of like wintry area. Oh yeah, she did. I think so. Yeah.
Pretty sure she died because of him, but like.
Oh yeah, because of him. Yeah. It's been a while since I've watched Dexter. Which reminds me, when I was in was that at Stanley Comic Con, they had one of the awesome booths, which I wish they did in Australian conventions, was they had a Dexter booth, and they actually had the table lined up, and you can lie down on the table and get like a Dexter impersonator to come up to look like they were about to kill you, and you can get the whole photo booth done up of it. It was pretty fucking cool. I wish they did that in Australia as well. But yeah, they had a Dexter booth there when I went.
Is that season 9? Is that what they're calling it?
I guess.
Yeah, probably season 9. They called it something like Dexter something.
New Blood.
Yeah, New Blood. That's it. Which
yeah, it was weird. I had a weird dream the other night about, I don't know what it was, but it was something about conventions in the US, and I was like, I don't know how I came to it, but it's like someone had come back because I was like, oh, you're back. And they're like, oh yeah, I've just been over in America. I'm like, oh, how long is the flight? Like, I must discuss out the flight and everything like that. It's like, oh, and I had the idea of like I wanting to go over there for a convention. I'm like, but why do I want to go to America for a convention? I'm like confused. I'm like, I don't really want to go to America. Like, I don't know.
I want to go back to America for the conventions.
Like, I guess I would do, but at the same time, I don't know.
Fantastic there. The cosplays are over the top.
Yeah.
Amazing. The booths there, like compared to the booths at like let's say Supernova in Australia, or like even Comic-Con here, is the booths here in Australia are just like the same repetitive bullshit. It's like, you know, someone selling like knockoff cheap fucking gel blasters, and you actually have good gel blasters, and then you have someone who's like selling, I don't know, fucking t-shirts that you've seen at every other convention, and then 2 booths over it's the same shit, and it's like just repetitive. Like you've gone down one aisle, you've seen every single aisle because it's just the same person, just multiple booths. Whilst the ones in the States, it's like every single one is just different. Like you're going down one and it's like it's the car from Supernatural, or another one it's like they've got a booth set up and it's the Dexter like themed booth, and you can get a photo like laying on the table like with Dexter actually cutting you up. Or like, you know, you've got like go down and it's got, you know, like you've got
why
comics
I want to call him out. I want to call him out. I want to call him out. Why are our cons shit? Put some fucking effort in our cons.
Yeah, exactly. Our cons are shit.
Pick up your game.
They're not that great these days. It's the same shit again and again and again. You keep saying seeing the same shit, and I don't just mean like, oh yeah, at every single con, like, you know.
You mean to call it out, so they change it.
No, yeah, well, I mean like,
we don't want these Nazi booths
seeing the same shit.
Hello, someone want to do something different. Let's have something different. Nazi booth. No, that's not that much different.
Yeah, Nazi booth.
That's the wrong kind of different we wanted.
Yeah, when I say something different, I don't mean a Nazi booth is different. I mean like something different, as in like, you know, having a photo booth where, you know, you can get your anime, like mixing some of the other stuff together.
Really,
like
being out there with the events of like actually having things like themed things, not just like
themed things.
Like
exactly.
we went to PAX and they have actual themed like layout, decoration, and decor and stuff. Like you only go to the spot.
Exactly.
Like you got the Ghostbusters car, but then it's like a kind of a set that looks like it's like part of the warehouse, like the door, or you go to like a booth like area that's for, I don't know, The Simpsons, and it's like some Simpsons style themed layout stuff, like, you know,
shit all
actually
the time.
Theme everything, like actually have decor themed props to make things just not just here's a bunch of stalls and they look like stalls, like actually theme them to make them look intriguing, to make, oh, that's kind of cool, I want to pose a photo with this, you know. Like they have like the thing where it's like here's a giant builds like TIE fighter. It's just the TIE fighter. Like, why can't they have a backdrop of like space or like with other ships in the back? Like, have things as backdrops and sets.
One of the other things I am disappointed though as well is like you see the photos from different conventions around Australia. Some of those things are only in that city. So you go to Sydney and it's like, oh, okay, they had the X-wing. They had the X-wing, and it was like, all right, awesome. They'll bring the X-wing up to Brisbane. Nah. It's like we've got like some military tank for a movie that's probably never going to be fucking released. That one, well, they've got books out, but fucking, I remember when they were promoting the movie and it just never came out.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say their name, but you know what I mean. It's like the same thing every fucking time.
Yeah,
like
so
it's
they're
nice.
here again to promote this thing. Here's their tank thing vehicle.
Yeah, it's the
six-wheel
same
land
thing.
vehicle.
It's,
the 6-lane.
if you go to the conventions each year, no wonder people don't want to go inside because they're going to see the exact same thing. You want them to come in because you got to mix up and you want to give them things to come inside to want to pay to go inside. And if you're going to up the price, give them a reason to go inside. Don't have the same exact fucking thing. And I understand half the reason why they do have the same thing is because they charge people to hire the areas and they got to make money. So if you've got a person selling shirts, they got to sell multiple shirts to pay for the thing. And, you know, if you're not going to use up the area, that's area that you're not using that's not making money that could pay for so on and so forth. I kind of understand that.
I feel like they need...
But you would sell a lot more tickets if you had a lot more better shit
exactly
inside.
They need these
reason to go in.
People that run these conventions need to hit up people, because there's plenty of these prop owners out there that own a lot of shit that they use for hiring and you can have set up. Like, there should be some kind of way you can work out an agreement, or there's got to be some connections people should have so they could actually have like set stuff that comes out for the convention that they have up on show and then taken away once it's done. Like, they can have up to make things look more decorative.
Yeah.
Like, it takes more work to have it out, but like that will be more enticing. You'll have more people come because they go, oh, did you see that thing that was here? It's like, what? Oh, I'll go tomorrow then and check it out. And then, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make it worthwhile. You want that word of mouth. If you're going to have a convention run for like 3 days, you have something on the first day that will instantly bring attention to it and have it just... Yeah, you want good media for that convention for the rest of it. You want on the first day to see someone to see something and actually be positive rather than negative thing and let it roll over for the rest of the weekend, and it just damages their reputation for the rest of the fucking...
It's like the it's like the if you saw that they released, or if you end up playing it, the Devolver Digital convention game.
Yeah, I played that. Well, remember, I was the one that told you about it.
Yeah. They end up playing it, like, if you end up actually playing through the whole thing, like, they actually got sets, and you can see, like, them building, like, different areas. Like, actually have things like that, where there's, like, a whole themed areas. Like, why can't they do things like that? They should be able to, like, segregate areas, build prop sets. Like, okay, it may take time, but that's going to bring people in.
It does take a lot of money,
that's
going to
bring people in. Like, people want to go because... And actually use your volunteers. Not just have volunteers, hire all these volunteers, and not actually get them to do anything. Like, actually get them to do something. Like... Yeah,
not just... You mean, like, actually do something a little bit more active than, you know, just threaten to take away props from people, or, you know, their walking sticks that they actually need to walk with. Sorry, I'm a little bit of a jab, and I've had a few drinks. But I'm just pointing out kind of, you know, the obvious. It's... If you hear this shit, you're kind of going to go, well, duh, don't fucking do it. Dumbass. But yeah, it's exactly, and it's kind of one of those things where, you know, if you build it, they will come, kind of thing. You know, the good old saying. And I do feel like I've been to enough conventions, and kind of just, you could close your eyes and walk through and go, t-shirt, dodgy fucking Chinese shit that you see that's like, bookstore over there, and you close your eyes and you know exactly where fucking everything is, because it is the exact same fucking thing every time. It's not something like where you turn around and go, oh my god, it's a full-on gel soft fucking shooting course, like where kids can run around and shoot gel soft. That's, you know, caught in off area, or like, holy shit, there's a proper area that you can actually buy pizza and sit down right afterwards and eat it instead of being in like a fucking hallway.
Like, oh, I'll go here and sit in the gates of hell and eat my pizza and have my can of soda, like sitting in the gates.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
something
like
like
had themed
that.
out locations, like actually theme it up. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go over this section and sit in the middle of the cantina and enjoy my soda while I have a 15-minute break. You know, because they've made this section look like the Star Wars cantina. You know, do things. Yeah, may take the extra time, but make that money that you're making from people coming to the convention actually make the money worth it. Like, you'll have more people come.
Well, that was the thing. It was like compared to like the convention, Stan Lee one. I had a VIP pass for that convention. I was able to roam around, do all that kind of stuff. But the VIP area, there had two things that stood out. The reason why you would want to get it is, one, your VIP area had its own private bar, and it had its own little buffet. So, and they'll top it like, you can have unlimited nachos with whatever cheese and all that kind of stuff that you want. Yeah, it was fucking fantastic. And they've got a bar there too. So I was like, throughout the day, I was having a beer with the Blues Brothers to my left, and like to my right, I had, you know, the Terminator. It was cool. It was like, have that experience, and that was the experience that you wanted as well. You know, they had charging ports, so you can sit down, you can charge all your electronics, which is fantastic. A nice couch that you can just relax on for the day, and you had like, it was a booth that was like in the middle, so you can see the whole convention floor as well. So you weren't missing out on anything while you're relaxing there. You didn't feel like you were missing out on anything because it was, you know, the good old saying, location. But not just that, one of the reasons why you didn't have to leave is because you had private signing booth area just for you. So the celebrities would come to the VIP area, they would sit down, and they would sign autographs just for the VIP people.
That's cool.
And that was one of the other things. And the other thing was, you know, of course you'd go straight to the front of the line. That was a good thing. And you would also, for the after party, which was one thing I was kind of like, oh my god, they actually have a proper fucking after party, was, you know, you're on the VIP area, you know, upper echelon area, so you get to look down stage at an elevated point. You know, you had perfect your own private bar for the after party. But the fact that there was an after party as well, that was one of the things which I was kind of like, you know, conventions definitely need like an after hours kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like people want to go out and have fun afterwards. I know the cosplay community likes to go out and have drinks and party afterwards and have a few drinks and chat and all that kind of stuff. But it just does, like, they arrange their own stuff. But if there was a proper after party, and the after party that I went, like the year that I went, they had the singer from, like the original singer that sung the original Pokemon theme song. He went up on stage and he sung the original Pokemon theme song. That was one of the highlights after I kind of got blackout drunk. Because there was a lot of alcohol drinks for me that day. But yeah, that was one of the things, like having a good after party with like a lot of the celebrities that were there. You know, of course they performed and did artists and stuff like that, music themselves, so they came up on stage and performed too. We're getting a little bit cold there, Jim. Oh, you can't hear me, that's right. Getting a little cold.
Where's his beard gone? His beard's gone.
Yeah, his beard gone. Oh, there it comes. Here it comes.
Looks so funny. You can see what you look like if you had a short beard.
Looks like a little turtle.
If you tuck it when you had tucked it, you can see what you look like with a short beard. So funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just saying, like a lot of the guests that were musical performers, they were performing for everyone. And the good thing about the after party was it was part of your admission for the convention. So if you bought the normal ticket for the convention, it wasn't something like a VIP event, everyone could go afterwards and attend it. And then, you know, that was pretty much it. It was a part of the convention. And that was the fantastic part of it. And I can't see why they just don't do it. Like, if they're ever going to up the price for the convention, at least make it worthwhile. Even offer
a high tier and then do stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like whenever I look at the VIP for like some of the conventions, you just see what's on offer, and you kind of go, yeah, it's not worth it. It doesn't seem worth it at all. Like what you get for during the day compared to also what you get for.
There should be another, like the basics plus. I wouldn't say too much more, but like things that make you want to upgrade to that.
Things that made you
Yeah,
go,
exactly. You want it to upgrade to it. I just feel like that. It's something that you want to get that extra money for.
Yeah.
Like you're actually you're not just getting the experience, you're also getting something physical as well.
Something memorable that would
Yeah,
say, I was there, but this happened. Like,
yeah, exactly. And if you just feel like that you're being shoved around and just that's it, you only get priority seating isn't always that great. Like if that's all you're getting, and it's like, oh, you get a free signature, or it's like, oh, it's not worth it. That's not worth it not for me.
it feels weird now. God dang it.
Oh. How long have we been going on for? I think like
Oh,
2.5 hours now.
3.
3? Oh God.
Yeah, I'll say I think we want to start on out the train.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna
Stop at all
go.
stations on the locomotive at 1 meter.
Yeah, my feet are
I've-
fucking.
I've-
like,
yeah. I've had a few drinks and
a few drinkies.
few drinkies, and I'm gonna go to the
Potty.
porcelain throne and
What's on throw?
Porcelain
it's
throne.
I like to use old school terms.
Well,
Porcelain throne, and
we can wrap
I'm
that
gonna
up
go
on the
prepare
rant.
some shirts as well, just for sale.
What?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No.
Just
This is cutting out there. Whatever he's doing, coughing.
yeah, I was coughing.
Well, before
Oh.
I might as well start wrapping up, start heading on out. We'll pass over to Jim, but before we go, we'll make a
Jim?
mention to 2 passings we've had this week. We've seen
Yeah.
ZZ Top's Dusty Hill passes at age 72, and Joey Jordison passed away at age 46.
Yes.
Ooh,
Unfortunately, yeah, this week, yeah.
46 is still way too young.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's crazy.
And-
so.
Nearly a third in Bob Odenkirk,
Nearly.
Nearly.
Yeah, nearly.
Suffering
which that would have
a
been shitty
mild heart attack.
as well. Like fucking hell, mild. Yeah, still mild can kill you though. Like he got
Oh
fucking
yeah,
lucky.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a blockage and they managed to clear it out. That was a problem, so. It's
So go
crazy.
to your doctor, people. Just regular checkups.
Regular checkups.
Sure, but if you pass out, go see.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ.
Fainted, yeah, because the blockage said can't get the blood flow. He collapsed, so yeah,
Yep.
passed out.
Oh no.
What do you keep doing? What do you keep doing there, man?
My heels are sore.
You got blisters on those.
I've been
babies.
standing since sometime, the whole time.
You
before.
stand so way too
Well,
much. It's
well on
crazy.
that note, Jim, you wanna wrap this up so you can put some socks on to warm up your tippy toes. You've already got socks on, don't you?
I've got slippers on.
Oh, that's
You
still
go
counts.
slippage.
I'm a little
Yeah, might as
slippage.
well.
Oh, I've got a couple of things before that.
Oh,
though,
if you got a couple of things you want to plug in before we roll out.
which is one does the new Minecraft dungeon thing. Echoing
yes.
Void is out now.
Yeah. Oh, the void.
Echoing Void,
Nice.
and also Mortal Shell. If you know that game,
Yes.
that's getting a DLC next month on the 18th.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Virtuous Cycle. The
Okay.
Virtuous Cycle or something. The Virtuous Cycle? I don't. It's like the V. But yeah, brings out new characters, I think. Weapons and stuff. I'm like, that sounds cool. I want to play it so bad. Doing this. Get up in there. Is this thing on?
Hello. Hello. Is this thing on? Hello. Oh god.
He's gonna dump scare someone Monday. Doesn't go like right there, bam.
Yeah. They'll turn away from. They'll watch it on YouTube. They'll turn away and they'll look back and they just see his face. Just
That
like,
scene
oh,
from
shit.
scene from Ace Ventura where he's looking down the cornhole.
Oh yeah. Cornhole.
He's looking down that
Just looking
tank,
down that
the drain
cornhole.
tank, and he's just looking down. He's just like,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Oh, that was for that fucking dolphin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I want to watch those again.
so
Not
good.
getting sidetracked. Fuck.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Like,
Anything else,
Ace
Jim?
Ventura for the next fucking hour. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else? Daz?
Anyone
Wookie?
does? No,
Anything
I,
good?
no.
No,
What is
I'm
episode
done. I'm
31? Like, Jesus. I did quickly look on the YouTube, like, episode 30? 31?
31.
If there's another lockdown, we'll try and I'll hop back on and we'll try and get Juddy on.
Ooh.
That'd be good. Yeah,
But
unless he's
Juddy's on his
busy with his ladies' friend.
I don't know what he's doing every weekend. He's like he should know. He should know that we've got a podcast happening. He listens to it. Why? What are you doing, Juddy? You should be like
yeah,
ready to go.
Juddy,
You know.
On to the next one.
You know the podcast is every weekend, my guy. Why aren't you be like, I'm ready, guys? Like, I know you're ready to listen to it, but why aren't you on? What is your deal? I'm looking at you.
But if not Juddy, Jim, do you want to bring someone on? Give him a shout out. Try and.
Do
Do we?
You
do we
thought
wanna
about
get-
someone last time.
I don't want to have him. I don't feel like I'd have. I mean, it would be all over the place if we had him for the whole episode. But it'd be funny if we could like interview Eddie on this whole TikTok escapade. Like, if we could just have a small interview with him.
You mean the bug guy?
The bug guy.
The
We'd
bug
actually
guy.
do it, though.
He wants to be on the podcast so bad, but he needs a setup. He needs to probably have a setup.
Give him a shout out, and then he can shout out on the next TikTok video.
I mean, we could have him for an episode, but I have no idea how that episode would go. Like, honestly, it would be the most. It could just be the. Well, I mean, we have crazy episodes as it is lately. We could just be like, fuck it, and just do another 3 hours of like.
We
wouldn't even have to have like we wouldn't even have to have topics
beforehand this time.
We wouldn't even have to have topics. We could just sit here and talk anything, and we would just go on fucking segues for fucking hours, for 3 hours.
That's pretty much what we've been doing already.
That's what I mean. Like, might as well just be like, we had things to kind of talk about, but like, fuck it, we could just throw it out the window and just be like, yep.
I
Talk
do,
about
by
fun.
the end of it, when I'm on, I do seem to kind of figure out it's like the moral of this story
There
episode.
seems to be a moral, isn't there? There always seems to be a
Yeah,
moral, doesn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
This one's, think before you fucking do anything.
yeah, exactly.
Think first.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Think first.
Think
Don't-
first.
Don't be a dick. Think.
Yeah, think that's the oh, and there's a few segues from that one. Is like don't sexually harass. Don't try and write and direct a Star Wars movie if you don't know what the fuck you're
think before you
doing.
do that. Think before you do that.
Don't steal a train. I
Think before you
think they're like the subcategories of that one.
Oh, yeah.
Think before you act.
Yeah,
Train
think before
robber.
you act.
Put in the fucking
Don't be a dick.
thing.
Imagine if he puts. I wonder if he puts it on his resume.
Maybe.
Oh.
He's done all these things.
Drove train.
Yeah.
Train driver.
Yeah, train driver.
But anyway.
in the resume.
Jeez.
Alright. Take it away, Jim.
Yeah, man. Oh, thank you, Beards and Beardettes, for joining us on episode 31. We've been Dale and Jim and Wookie. We'll catch you guys next week, episode 32. Bye!
Laters.
Where the fuck is my mouse?
Yeah.
Or do the fucking Trump.
Wait. If I shake my hands like this, it looks like I'm jerking these guys off. And cut.
You
Cut.
got that about here, Daz.
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll just cut the episode off then. Hey, you boys like to ski? Sorry.
Fucking hell. How have we not thought of that before?
Yeah,
Oh my
because you guys
God.
are up there, and it's just I'm down the middle, and just realised then when I just raised my arms up, I'm just like, oh, looks like
Yeah!
yeah. It's like, wait a minute, do you guys like to ski?